That's really interesting that you had a similar insight. Like, thank you for sharing.
Oh, no problem. Occasionally I have discovered that I always forget that I've been like I had some bad things happen. It's just like but yeah. Joys of flesh-eating bacteria. So
Yeah, fun stuff.
the worst was it was a teaching university medical center.
Oh no. Did that
So at
cause
one
any?
point,
Sorry, go ahead.
at one point the students come in and I'm like completely like zonked on morphine. So I'm like watching them. They're coming in the room. And at one point they go, as you can see, they start describing it and they open up the thing because they have to do that every once in a while anyway. And they open up the thing, and then he starts pointing out and like manipulating the wound to show the students. And I'm like, oh, this is great. Click, 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 morphine.
You start yeah. Well, and I mean, when we got the pathology back, he changed the antibiotic regimen based on that result. But the antibiotic that I guess should have been effective wasn't. So we're still experimenting with more antibiotics. And then of course the second surgery on Friday, they took out new tissue, not because they missed any of the sac before, but because they're trying to remove some of the corrupted flesh since. But they did send out another pathology like test with that new tissue just to see if we get anything more, you know.
Yeah. The debridement is a pain in the ass for any wound, and for a dog it's gotta be worse because they can't do it themselves. So
right. Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, fun stuff. Sorry, AK. Sorry, Lou. Trey.
Yeah, I'll talk about gross medical stuff like all day. So just tell us to be quiet. Yeah, Trey knows.
It's a valid point.
It's fine. I'm just looking through some of my notes.
Hey, Lou, how's your puppy who had the issue with his eyes? I know that he ended up losing his sight, but how's he doing now? It's been a little while.
He's okay. As far as I can tell, he's doing okay.
Okay.
So.
Good.
That's good.
Yeah. There's like a lot of story there. I'm not gonna get into it right now.
Gotcha.
Do we have Thorothy coming tonight?
He said he might be able to
get
it. Yeah, he said there was a chance the internet would be
internet stuff. So if he's online anywhere, maybe.
All right. Yeah, I was gonna give him a few minutes, but we're already like almost 10 minutes in. So I was trying to mark the Druid Grove on the map. It's being a pain for some reason.
Well, I thought it was just because it would be hard to pin down on
Let's see.
It's sort of near the tree-ish, sort of.
Well, probably pretty much where our token is, but.
Yeah, I just wanted to mark it on the map, the Fireleaf Grove. Might just be the picture I'm using.
I think Thorothy's offline, so he may not have internet.
Yeah.
We had some crazy storms come through here, like a little bit earlier. We got like warnings from like the weather service warnings, and then like all of a sudden the trees were reaching sideways, and then like literally like 10 minutes later it was sunny and like I mean the ground was wet from the rains, but otherwise there was and there were some leaves and branches everywhere, but otherwise there was
like
no sun.
1,000% humidity and surprise.
Right.
All right.
Oh, there it is. Maybe the three of us once again.
Got a little picture going there. That'll work.
Oh, the picture. It kind of blends in, which kind of makes sense.
smaller.
I love that we went down here because I've never entered the swamp area of the map from any other group.
Oh, really? Oh, nice. Which is weird. You play a lot of druids too. So.
Well, my other druids weren't from the swamp.
Oh well. Okay. Well, that's true. I mean.
In fact, one of my druids is from the Feywild.
Oh, well, there you go.
Actually, I'm only.
Trey likes swamps. Let me tell you.
Trey does, or AK does.
Trey.
I don't think Anna Kate likes swamps.
Yeah, I thought you were being sarcastic. So.
No, so far I've discovered his favorite creature type for his game is a giant alligator.
Well, now, to be fair, the first one was there from Rachel. And the second one was actually a random encounter built into the Essentials
Really?
module. So I actually didn't put any of those in there.
Huh. All I gotta
So-
say is, how many of us have been eaten? Okay, technically no one's been eaten. One person get chomped and got spit out. So
Right.
that works. So
Well, yeah, that happened. Didn't that happen both times? Oh yeah, but the
Yeah.
second time it was an NPC that got
I think it was an
almost
NPC.
swallowed.
Yeah, because we thought we tried to tempt him with a clone, and that didn't. Yeah.
So your new Monday group, Lou, do you have a Stars Druid or a Twilight Cleric or both? I'm just curious.
Twilight Cleric.
Based on the name.
That was the both.
Sorry,
feel
what'd you
like
say?
It's Twilight Cleric.
Yep.
I
One
feel
in
like
every.
After a couple of months, every group's gonna have a Twilight Cleric. It's just gonna be
Are they going to
I-
get even better?
My Sunday night group has 2.
I mean, they don't
I'm
have
looking-
to get better. They're already ridiculous.
That's what I mean. But like, why do you say in a couple months?
Because people are just gonna make one for each game because of how much damage reduction they bring.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward
I've
to.
been really hesitant to introduce the Twilight thing. I've mostly just been using it for like the utility of the.
I've been considering nerfing it. I feel like it is a little bit like it's not broken, but I do feel like they completely like overscaled the power level for that channel divinity. Like nothing,
It is
no other
hugely
channel divinity even comes close. Like not even turn undead versus undead.
I'm looking forward to the new rules coming out, because then once the domain isn't chosen until 3rd level, all of these multi-class Twilight Clerics will just go away.
That's true. Yeah. It's the same thing for healing or life clerics, because if it forces 3 levels, it's way more of an investment than just doing it right away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Which is a little
I'm
sad for me because I like a lot of weird multi-classes, and that makes me sad.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I'm definitely guilty of dipping into cleric just because there's some really fun stuff you can get at level 1.
I feel like any dip should require at least 3 levels. Like, I just feel like getting that many abilities from like 1 level of dip it feels like everyone's gonna dip. Like, there is literally almost no reason not to dip life cleric if you're gonna be a healer. Like, it's so good.
Or
Right.
honestly, dip cleric
Like,
for
even a
just about
bard.
anything. Yeah, bard, even a wizard having a dip into a cleric gives you a lot with that dip. So,
Yeah.
Well, and barrels
Armor
barrels
proficiency.
dip, like barrels dip into rogue. Like, I mean, you get that expertise right there first level, and I mean, yeah, she went ahead and has dipped further into rogue, but like I have used that dip into rogue on other builds just because that expertise can be pivotal if there's something you're trying to like kind of get your character really specialized in,
Well, 1 level of rogue doesn't get you expertise, I don't think.
doesn't it?
It does, yeah. You
Yeah.
get expertise on 1st level, and then you get
Two
cunning
things.
action on 2nd
you get-
level. So that's
you get expertise in 2 skills. That's
The,
how Beryl got so good at stealth and animal handling, like pretty much at mid levels.
What am I thinking
Yeah.
of? Maybe it's something at
It's
higher
the
level
bard.
you get.
the bard gets expertise at a later level. I don't know if it's 2nd or second or
For some
third.
reason, I thought the rogue didn't get expertise till later.
Well, they get the sneak attack as well at first level, which granted isn't a huge amount,
Yeah.
if you've only dipped one level, but it always gave Beryl a little extra hit when she was using her sling, at early levels. So
Yeah, I forgot about the expertise on Rogue. Like I said, I thought that was higher level, but yeah,
Well, I mean,
it's
everybody
silly.
you get more.
That
You
should
get
be
level.
like they need a tier progression. Like first level should give you some basic mechanics in a class. Then like maybe you hit third level, you get like stuff like expertise and like your specializations. Like I don't know. I feel like for like one level to get such powerful stuff is just bad design.
Well, I think that as
I've
far as
noticed that
power,
people don't.
the one level in cleric, I think, is more powerful than any one level in anything else. But even
Yeah.
one level fighter dip is some pretty good stuff. Getting a fighting style and second wind.
Oh yeah.
Like I said, it should be like basic mechanics for a
The
dip and like
the new
yeah.
the new like dip class is going to be fighter, I think.
To get all
Because
the
they're
weapon stuff.
they get a lot of front loaded stuff. They get armor. They get like weapon proficiency in the new system is like a huge deal, and they get like martial weapons like.
Yeah, I almost feel like you should choose those. Like you choose a weapon and then you get like some specialization stuff, like the special properties. It feels weird that you just get them all at first level, right?
Well, I mean, the idea is that you get you can do Battlemaster stuff that is more focused on specific things. So you're just incredibly competent picking up anything that hurts people. So
Yeah, I almost feel like the Battlemaster. I think I've said this in other games. The Battlemaster should just be the fighter. Like I feel like all the different classes should have some like mechanical resource, and the Battlemaster feels very appropriate for a fighter.
I think making a fighter, all fighters basically be Battlemaster, and then having just another subclass would be really useful for fighters in the higher levels. Though they would make them like fucking amazing at the low levels and mid levels. They would just be like, holy shit.
Yeah, just have
good.
some battlefield control built in. Same thing with the Barbarian. Like I almost feel like there should be some kind of resource they get besides just raging reduces damage. But in any case,
well, I mean, one of the reasons you play a barbarian is you don't want to deal with resources. You just want to hit things.
That's true. Yeah, maybe some people just want to play like roll dice and not have to worry about resources.
And let's be honest, barbarians are great for that.
Yeah, I don't know. I like the easy to learn, hard to master philosophy for game design. Like something that's easy to play and like you can easily pick up the resource system, but later on like there's more complexity to it that you can delve into. So I don't know. But yeah, maybe some people just like rolling attacks and raging and not have to worry about anything too complex. But in any case, we should get going because I don't know if Thorothy is coming, which is unfortunate.
I suspect that he's not. He's offline, and he normally doesn't show offline, so I don't think he has internet.
Now that is unfortunate because I think he was the previous scribe, wasn't he?
I've written down that I
actually,
was.
oddly enough, both me and we both did scribe duty, except she did a better job.
Yeah, I noticed that because like I had taken notes, but I hadn't had time to write them until later. So like when I went, I noticed that you had posted like some outlines, and I was sure that he told me I was scribe or that I volunteered or something, but I guess I forgot.
I was supposed to be scribe, so
oh my gosh,
we, like,
Lou,
am
I gonna log in tomorrow, and it's gonna be tomorrow? I was supposed to do.
Wait, did I forget to take notes from last game?
I don't know.
Is this session 180 or 181?
So I was trying to count forward from the last journal that actually mentioned a session, and so I thought it was 171, but maybe I'm a big fat liar. Maybe both are wrong.
This might be session 181 because one of my
180.
games last week, I had a kind of an emergency come up and I had to leave the game right at the end. It might have been
We
this
you
one.
left early because of the furniture stuff last week.
That's what it was. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think I had to. I think it was this game then.
Yeah.
So maybe this is the one where I didn't get to take notes because I was really involved with the
So-
furniture stuff.
So our journal is very important for this.
Yeah, so my last journal must have the wrong session number as well, the one I did on June 3rd, because it says session 165, so that can't possibly be right. I'm just going to take it out
So
of there
you're-
because otherwise...
So yeah, your thing says 181.
Well, I just changed it.
Oh.
Like, I
okay.
literally just changed it. But yeah, so the session on May 27th, what was the correct number for that one? Or if it's handy, if you have to look it up, don't worry.
Yeah, I wouldn't worry about it.
527. Oh, geez. Let me.
That's fine. No, never mind.
That is 175.
175. See, I put
Wait,
165.
so,
So maybe it was a typo. Maybe I just fat fingered it.
Yeah, I think this is supposed to be 181. I just didn't get a chance to. Because, yeah, then that would make sense. Because then, Beryl, you would have been Scribe.
And you also cut off the stream before we said who was MVP, but I think you guys voted for Beryl. Did I remember that
Yes.
correctly? Okay, all right.
Yes.
Thank you.
Alright, so Beryl is the previous Scribe this week.
So I'm
Got
not
it.
crazy.
And that would make it Anna Kate's turn to Scribe.
Yep. I gotta say, this 3-person rotation is.
Right?
Yeah, I have, Hope Caller's next.
Well, good. Then hopefully the scribe will be here next week. I'm sorry.
We'll
I really
find
do
out.
hope we see Thoroby again.
I
And
do
maybe
find it
even-
funny that we both scribed them. So,
I mean,
Say what?
technically, I still have Titus on the list, but I haven't. I'm not sure what's going on with him.
well,
Okay.
he said he might be out for a month. It's only been like what 2 or 3 sessions.
Yeah,
that's fine.
that's what I'm hoping.
I do hope we see
I
that him
think
again.
his life seems a little complicated right now, so
Yeah, that
Yeah.
happens.
All right.
which I get.
Yeah.
So, Anna Kate.
Yep.
And we have the quartermaster role. I'm probably going to get rid of soon. So I'm just gonna start doing the party fee deduction, or I'll just say I'll ask how you guys want to do the camp payments, and we'll figure out where I'm deducting from. But
I don't
for
know.
now, yeah,
Beryl
Beryl's
seems to be
on
doing a great job at it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind. I mean, when we have party stuff, I understand why you made it where it wasn't like a story point or an inspiration or whatever, because most of the time it's pretty much no work at all. But when we do have stuff to manage, I think it makes sense to have,
So-
the party going in and looking at the sheet and working on it, whether it's one person or a group, as a group.
Well, I'm going to keep the sheet. I just, my thought is that, we can still do, bag of holding inventory stuff, but I'll kind of want to do away with the idea of a party treasury and just have, kind of the camps, bag of holdings, and locations being recorded on the party sheet. And everything
Well,
else is just kind of personal inventory.
That's
makes
pretty
sense.
much how we've been doing it all along.
Yeah, so I think...
Well, no, I'm sorry. We have stuff at strongholds, but
yeah.
but everything in our party inventory is either in a bag of holding, at camp, or at one of our strongholds. That's the whole point. We've always kept our personal items in our personal inventories.
Yeah, and it's if people want to put stuff into bag of holdings, you don't really need the quartermaster to do that. If we have them on the sheets,
yeah.
they can just access it and put it in.
Sure.
So yeah,
But I think for the most part, the group has done that whenever needed anyway.
Wait,
We've all
We've
go
actually
in.
been pretty studious in trying to reduce our group items to money.
yeah, so
Yeah,
it's-
we got rid of a bunch of stuff last time we were in Tyvanis, and then some more stuff in the astral plane, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, really, the only thing the quartermaster at that point is doing is paying the paying the camp, which I could just do pretty easily.
Oh,
too.
I mean, the only time I feel like I really have a role that I need to make sure to pay attention to is when we have just gotten a bunch of loot and it needs recorded correctly. That's what I kind of thought the job was at this point.
Which is the hardest part in a lot
Yeah.
of ways. So
Yeah, so I mean, what I could do is just when loot is found, just make sure I go, okay, so who's taking this, just to make sure people are putting it on their sheets, and I can just be more, because it just doesn't seem like the quartermaster is as important of a job, and something like we could just do by being more vigilant when we record items.
I definitely agree that it's not super important. I don't think it's necessary to eliminate it. I think it has its uses.
I find it incredibly handy for you to exist.
For Beryl.
Oh, good. I'm glad you
don't-
appreciate that I exist.
The quartermaster.
That's a
That's
weird
the
way to put
quartermaster.
that.
What's that?
So that's a weird way to put that. I find your existence
honestly,
handy.
In this group, regardless of the fact that Beryl has always been the quartermaster in this group, I think this group has all been pretty collaborative, like pretty good about just like we all go into extended effects or downtime activities and like record stuff. I don't think it's like I don't think anyone's ever been afraid of going in there and making updates as needed. And of course, I've been absent at times, so it's not a big job. But when we do get like a pile of loot, I think I prefer to have it accurately recorded in a place where everyone can reference if it's party property.
Yeah. Nah, that's all good. It's just the Trey's game, our stuff gets glitchy pretty easily.
Hey.
So I appreciate the non-glitchiness.
What do you use for your inventory?
Well,
a notepad.
Notepad?
I definitely like the idea of having a place where you're recording, like, where your stronghold stuff and your camp stuff, and like you can search them easier, but at the same time, like, I kind of want to make sure people just have their personal stuff on their personal sheet. So
I think that's pretty much how this group has been doing it, and that's how I do it on most of my characters, but I know that some of the groups have slightly different methods.
In defense of my group that's under Trey, we don't have a stronghold. We have a bag of holding.
You have a stronghold now. You have a house now.
But we never go to it. Like
you could start an inventory for your house, and it would be dirt.
Giant holes in the wall. Like the roof
dirt.
leaks. We don't even have a basement, really.
Can make
See,
it,
you've got dirt and rainwater.
and rent it out and be an Air D&D. I've heard this joke before. Do you get it? Do you
I
get
do.
it?
You're hilarious, Lou.
All right, anyway. All right, so Beryl, do you think you could give us a recap of last time?
Sure. Fresh tribe breaking fast into Zorik and considering returning to search for Runemaster Tower, but agree should wait for Thoreau and maybe Titus. Agree instead to follow Master Symphony's quest to look for stolen tuning fork, which will also help tribe return Ekrus home to Feywild. While discussing druid politics, AK encourages Beryl to set goal of becoming Archdruid by challenging Archdruid. Resolved tribe now have plans.
We're doing that, right?
Oh yeah. Totally.
Side quest. 5 story points and I'll make it happen.
Resolved tribe now have plans to say goodbye to Zorik friends and transport to Southern Swamp using Beryl's childhood tree friend. Upon arrival, Beryl finds tree friend looking poorly, choked by many other plants. Beryl do some small pruning to help tree. Beryl noticed kobold youth watching strange tribe, trying to be sneaky. Beryl no confront child, leave treasures and treats instead. Traipsing tribe traveled south to places Beryl remember swamp druids in childhood long ago, 3 or 4 whole years ago. Beryl expound upon merits of swamp, sweltering heat, heavy humidity, squishy footing, fetid smells, many wonderful things. Beryl tell ancient legends of Moss Real tribe many generations ago, some 80 years, when kobolds served majestic black dragon Tirgona, but nasty adventurers and shifty lizard folk come to swamp, and kobolds fight to defend Tirgona. Many kobolds die, and Tirgona tragically slain. Mistaken tribe refute virtue of great chromatic dragons. Beryl very reasonably explain all dragons are magnificent and noble and must be honored. This is known. Beryl see patch of wonderful useful herbs growing in pool of dangerous sucking mud. Beryl fly to, I can't spell apparently. Beryl flies to harvest easily without being pulled into mud. AK dislike friendly swamp bugs, so hope. Oh my gosh, I wrote Hope Keeper. Sorry, Hope Caller, Swarm help keep bugs away from AK. I think in my brain I was thinking, Swarm Keeper.
Yeah. I channel hope around.
Beryl also make deliciously fragrant mud mixture to spread on AK's skin to also keep bugs away. AK's starting to smell native now. Very nice. Beryl find clearing with mushrooms and special tree friend bearing druid runes. Beryl speak with tree and learn tree's path to grove. Tree agree to let respectful tribe pass through. Exiting destination tree, confident tribe find clearing with very attentive bird. Beryl address bird and suddenly bird becomes old lizard folk druid. Pleasant Eldevel, interested in Celadine, and invites foreign tribe to visit Grove to discuss mission here. Many attentive chameleons in area also become druids. Some lizard folk, one elven, and one human. Stern lizard folk druid called Threlazel, Grove leader of Fireleaf tribe, say no magic allowed in Grove. Hope Caller gets permission to continue magic control of bugs for AK. At Grove, Beryl explains seeking tribe's mission to return friend home to Feywild and come to swamp looking for apparatus necessary for such transportation. Drelazel look grim and say no such item here. Drelazel not hide lying nature of words. Beryl not argue and accept offer to visit tomorrow a nearby place of strong magic where teleportation is possible at special time. Hope Caller reveals probing tribe was told items sought recently came here to Grove, but Drelazel maintains claim the Fireleaf tribe hold no spell apparatus for plane shifting. AK complains of feeling portal lag after long swamp trek, so tired tribe settle into camp for night. Eldevel spend much time speaking with interesting tribe, and Old Druid reveals that Fireleaf tribe had tuning fork, but has already given it to Archdruid Uthe, who helps creatures of Feywild to fight darkness. Eldevel shows some feelings of wanderlust and great interest in other planes, but declines offer to leave Swampy Grove and join Venturesome Tribe.
Alright, and that's kind of where we had left off.
Yeah, we left a little bit abruptly, I think, because you had to go, so I don't think we actually went to bed or called the rest, but we might be pretty much ready to do that.
Yeah, so it is the... Let's see, it was... Well, actually I have it as 2 p.m. on the 78th of summer.
I saw that when I was writing. When I write journals, I always go check the calendar, and I saw that, and I just figured that was accidental, or maybe we passed a bunch of time after the chat at the Grove before nightfall. But we had talked about being around campfires and at camp and stuff for the night.
All right.
Yeah.
Well,
we talked to Dude for a while, if I remember.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we chatted with him, but we also said that he was walking around the camp, kind of talking to everyone. So some time has passed, I think.
So why? So you were waiting for tomorrow till you left? Is that what you were doing?
No, because Eldevel is supposed to take us to that place of the thinness between the plains.
Yeah. All right. So we'll say it's late then. We'll say it's 10.
And considering we know now that the fork isn't here, I don't know that we have any real purpose of lingering.
All right. So let's see. So we are going to pass the night. I'll click the long rest button. That should subtract everything.
Did I burn any spells?
Alright. So you would rest for the evening. Go ahead and long rest. It is now a new day, the 79th of summer at 8 a.m. The group is greeted by the dawn. It's a very pleasant, warm, muggy day in the swamp. You're probably all being attacked by mosquitoes. Those of you
Perfectly glorious.
Perfectly glorious. Eldevel would come and meet you. Just give me a moment, just check something. Alright, so Eldevel and Drelazel are the two druids you know of the Fireleaf. Eldevel comes in the morning. He says, we are ready to leave whenever you are. I wanted to ask you, the fork you seek.
Yes.
Is there a reason besides just going to the Feywild that you seek this item?
Well, as Beryl said, Beryl wants to return friend, whose home is Feywild, back to Feywild. Tribe was not planning to follow with.
Well, I thought he was going to. Is he not meeting us at this crossing? Your friend?
I mean, Beryl would have to go back and get friend if Tribe knows that there is a way to the Feywild, but Tribe was told yesterday that will there be a way to the Feywild at this crossing? Beryl heard yesterday that it only works at end of summer.
Yes, that's correct. So you would have to wait there a bit. He says if there's really pressing business, we could try to speak to the Archdruid. She is the one in possession of the fork right now.
Yes.
Yeah.
That would be best.
Yes, most interested.
He says, I kind of slept on it last night, and you all seem like honorable travelers. So, go ahead.
Hope Color is like eyeing Anna Kate out of this corner.
Did you threaten him or something?
No,
I'm
just
honorable.
there should. But some things occasionally seem to go missing in towns we visit.
I don't think Anna Kate stole anything here, luckily.
I know.
Were you gonna try to, Anna Kate? I guess I should have asked.
I've been looking around to see if there's anything valuable here, but
It's mostly
this is
dirt.
Yeah, this is Kata. She's kind of looking down her nose at the
Yeah, it's a bunch of trees.
environs.
What do they have?
Well, honestly, I didn't even question this last session because I was thinking that Beryl would have overlooked it, but I forgot Beryl's perception is so high. When we went through that gate and the elf, or no, I guess she's a lizard folk too. The female grove leader druid kind of waited and watched to see us go through. I fact that there could be some things in place, some words in place here or something if we did try anything. I don't know specifics, but...
Yeah, well, Drelazel did also tell you there are forbidden areas that in the grove that you're not supposed to go into.
Did, correct. She also said that there are eyes on us constantly.
Yeah, she said to, watch yourselves as we'll be watching you.
Every chipmunk is actually
Probably.
So
it's a familiar or it's a druid.
Yeah.
Or both.
So yeah, he says, I feel like that you are honorable people, and that you, if you're trying to help a being of the Feywild, then you should at least have the chance to speak with the Archdruid. I have not told Drelazel that I'll be taking you to her, but like I said, I trust you all, and I think you have good intentions in your hearts. I am usually a good judge of people.
We thank you.
He says,
Beryl is grateful for new friend.
He says, I just need your promise that you will not try to harm the Archdruid or steal anything from her, because I am trusting you.
Yes.
It is Beryl's most fervent wish that all can get along.
I will not steal anything from the Archdruid or try to bring harm to the Archdruid, unless the Archdruid tries to bring harm to me.
Well, of course, defense of oneself is completely justified in the wilds. And then she kind of looks over at Anna Kate.
Okay, all right. Assuming this Archdruid even has anything that I would want, I promise not to steal anything.
That's very nice of you, Anna Kate.
So, Eldevel will nod, and she says,
Christ.
Jeez. She nods and says, I feel I can trust you all, so I shall bring you before the Archdruid. Hopefully she will she will hear your requests and give you the method you need to get this poor being home sooner. So she is going to basically, she has her stuff. She says it is a long journey towards the Archdruid's area, and once we get there, it's not guaranteed we'll find her quickly, as she's often traveling throughout the whole swamp to keep in touch with the different groves. However, one of her followers might be able to summon her.
Which way?
Because it is a 4-day journey southeast. So if you are ready, we shall begin this journey.
No shortcut?
Days.
She would say, what sort of shortcuts would we use?
Well, if trying to remember, I've already forgotten his name. If Eldravel has been there before, then doesn't Eldravel know the trees there?
Yes, I know the trees in many different places.
Eldravel does not know how to tree walk?
Says no. What is tree walking?
Oh.
Oh no.
Well, Beryl makes tree friend in one place, and then Beryl makes tree friend in another place, and Beryl can move between the tree friends instantly, and take whole tribe with.
Is this a druid spell, a higher sphere one?
Beryl thought so. Beryl never got formal training with druids, but Beryl learned from nature. Nature taught Beryl.
I see. I must not know the powers of Gaian as well as I thought. I don't remember such an ability. Then again, I'm not as familiar with the more powerful druid spells as you must be.
Do any of the druids of Fireleaf know such magic?
As well,
Beryl assumed at least
Drelazel is our most powerful druid, though I think it unwise to ask her. She does not know I'm taking you there.
Beryl didn't mean to ask her. Beryl just thought maybe tribe was aware if some of tribe leaders, had such abilities. But maybe, yeah.
Yes, and if we had the chance, I'm pretty sure Beryl would want to teach you if you didn't know.
Well, the way our magic works is Mother Gaian opens her arms to us as we become more powerful. So I will most likely gain understanding of this ability as I gain in power. But obviously, Beryl is much more powerful than I am.
Okay, alternate plan.
Yeah.
Alternate plan. Eldeval and Beryl and Celandine can fly, and others can ride.
What would we ride?
Beryl and Eldavir and Celandine.
He says, I'm not a moon specialist druid. I don't have the greater forms.
Okay, but can fly by. But Eldeval can fly by oneself, right?
Says yes, I can become a bird.
Okay. Oh, that's right. Tribe met Eldeval as bird. So Beryl and Celandine can carry Anikate and Hopecaller, and then whole group get there faster.
What about Dorothy?
Yeah, I didn't know. If we want to.
Technically, we're somehow magically teleporting our entire camp.
Yeah, they're in the background. Yeah.
Yeah, they'd be in the background. You wouldn't have to worry as much about them.
But it was idea. Beryl's okay with taking Lovely trek through beautiful swamp.
I mean, if you flew there, you just get there much earlier.
Yes,
but
that was why I proposed.
He said, or she says, well, I think with your camp following us, it might be good to just go by foot, unless several of you wish to get there early, just to see if you can get in touch with the Archdruid.
It's, since you are the guide, we will follow your lead in this trick.
She'll just she'll say we'll just walk. Is it a he or a she? For some reason I thought Eldebel
I thought
was
Eldebel was he,
yeah,
and that
maybe
the other
was a
leader was she.
I think it was a he. I think I have it marked wrong in my notes. So let me change that. Himself. Alright,
So Beryl will take note of your tree friends.
Yeah, it's lizard folk. They don't have a lot of external, you know.
What?
I was being racist.
Oh, I just said Beryl will take note of another tree friend closer to this grove so that she can bring Eldebel home later.
Sure, you can mark a tree near here. Alright, so for this travel, your druid friend Eldebel will be one of the guides. Does anyone else want to throw in their hat for assisting with survival?
I'll help. Because I think Beryl's gonna be too busy like looking at stuff.
I mean, it's just okay.
Okay.
We were really focused, and you still went off on a tangent to grab herbs. So I'm like, I'll keep us on like dryish land.
The land was dry. That was just extra. All of the land was wet. That was just extra wet land. And Beryl warned you about it, so you guys didn't step in it, and she flew over it.
Okay, that's true. That's true. So,
and Beryl got fancy herbs. Vlad would appreciate.
All right. So, I'm rolling for the journey.
My own character.
Just let me know if you all are doing anything during the trek or speaking to each other.
I'm keeping bugs off of us.
Beryl's eating bugs that land on her happily.
But I don't make it.
Now, I think a couple of you have survival, so you don't.
Yeah.
If you have survival training, you can do 3 plus your wisdom modifier food per day. So you could feed that many people. So I don't think this group even needs to be spending rations.
Beryl also has the Wanderer thing.
Yeah. Outlander? So yeah, you guys are completely fine on food. You don't even need to be minusing rations if you don't want to be.
I'll change that in the sheet then.
All right.
Daily rations 0, so that when you hit the button again, it won't take our rations.
Yeah, that's at least as long as you have survival.
Yeah, when we're out here, we have to put that.
I'm sitting there thinking about barrel rations from a swamp.
All right.
Oh, that's true. Okay, Anna Kate and maybe Hope Caller may not eat the stuff that Beryl forages.
Alright, I am navigating your trip based on these rolls. Again, if you want to be doing anything, let me know before I finish doing this. Oh,
hey, it's Dorothy.
Hey,
Dorothy joining us.
No, my internet's back on for the minute.
I cannot hear you.
Yeah, that was all that was coming in now.
There we go. Is that better?
Yeah,
yes.
I just have I'm on my phone because I still don't have a headset for my PC yet, so I need to remember to not put it down to one side when I'm thinking.
Yeah. For whatever reason, whatever you said was just like really loud then really quiet. But yeah, I hear you okay now.
But yeah, you're much better now. It's all good. We're happy to see you.
My internet's working for 30 seconds, so I don't know if it will go off again, but I'm here until I
Alright, well, you'll be here until I finish calculating their journey, and then you'll go off just as I start describing again.
So Dorothy, we are traipsing through a swamp with a swamp druid leading us to go meet the arc druid that we're going to try and convince to give us the tuning fork, or at least help us.
We'll probably get a quest to get access to the tuning fork.
off to the land of somewhere in the middle of this big swamp to find something.
Excuse me.
That's not unusual.
And we're gonna eat swamp food. It's gonna be great.
Beryl is very excited. She extols the virtues of all of the wonderful things that we're finding in the swamp.
Alright, so these might be useful for Beryl. Although, did I tell you had all the beast forms for the swamp?
You did. You
Okay.
told me I had all beast and all swamp and forest, and then I was collecting coast, and I think I collected a couple Arctic ones while we were up
The
there. Not
dinosaurs.
Arctic, but like cold weather. Yeah.
All right. Oh, wait a minute. Might be interesting.
Oh no.
All right. So travel 2 days. Go ahead and pay your camp for 2 days. Like I said, you don't have to worry about food.
Okay.
So you traveled the 79th, the 80th. It is now the 81st at about 11 a.m. When I'll say your guides.
Dun, dun, dun.
Now tell me, I guess Thoth, or not Thoth, the Hope Caller. Do you have knowledge nature?
Oddly enough, for a ranger, I do not.
Okay.
Not formally.
So I'll say that
I do have favored enemies and yeah.
So you come upon some interesting signs of passage. Eldevel seems nervous. He would say, "Blast! There is a giant crocodile in the area. This is quite a dangerous creature if one is
Damn
not
it.
careful."
Oh, interesting.
He says, "We passed by many other such creatures who mostly ignore us, but the giant crocodile could be an issue as they are very vicious and aggressive." He says, "I think I can keep us safe. We just have to be cautious moving through here. Or we could take the long way around and just avoid its territory." How much of a hurry are we in?
Something of a hurry, and I don't want Anna-Kate to lose any more blood.
Oh, that's
Oh, don't worry.
kind of
Barrel
you to
will
think
make
of
more.
me.
Barrel can make more of the wonderful smelling salve.
I thought you were going to say Beryl can make more blood.
Mm,
Hey,
nice.
It's taking a new interest. A
Beryl's-
side branch of druidry, like
Yeah.
blood
but,
bending.
but
Exactly.
no, we're fine with the shorter path.
All right. Well, I'll do my best to keep us safe. Luckily,
Let's have
you
a
don't
bit of
usually encounter these in more than groups of one or like two tops. So I think
Let's
we'll be
have a
okay.
bit of fun. I feel like a crocodile skin handbag. Hurry
Well,
bag.
these things can swallow a creatures our size whole if we're not careful. But they do have quite the impressive hide if one can bring them down. Your group, I assume, would have no problem, but many of us have to fear such a beast. So go ahead and give me another survival check, Hope Caller.
Okay.
Okay.
Not that good of a roll, but whatever.
So luckily, there is no issue. You managed to get through the area. No problem. I assume you don't want to fight giant crocodiles, right?
Barrel would
No.
rather not kill beings for existing in their own space, but
Okay.
No.
You could go look for them, but yeah. You would, yeah. I mean, the druid would also say we should probably just avoid it.
It
Eldevel.
seems kind of rude to do in front of the druid. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Let's avoid it unless it attacks us.
You're cutting out again. I can't hear you.
Yeah, what was that?
Let's just avoid it if it comes to us.
All right.
Ah, gotcha.
I think you said let's just avoid it, right? Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, unless it
yes.
comes from us. Yeah.
All right. So yeah, you do manage to avoid it. Some pretty good rolls on the survival.
Deep in swamp is good place for alligator to live out life, or was it crocodile? Yeah, crocodile, whatever.
Crocodile. Yeah.
Mhm.
All right. Okay.
Is this a North American or no? Sorry.
North American gargantuan crocodile, or giant, or whatever. All right, so you continue moving through.
And Beryl is definitely like looking keeping an eye out for any, valuable herbs or interesting nuts or mushrooms or whatever. Things she knows are valuable in their way.
So on the third day, I'm getting some interesting rolls here. You would come upon, I'll say Beryl. You are the one who notices this because you have really good perception. Well, actually, give me an active. Everyone can give me an active perception check. I want to see if you actually do notice this.
Oof. Very, very low roll for Beryl. And AK.
Decade is still like fucking bugs.
All right.
Yeah, I don't like this place.
Beryl just found a cricket that tastes really good and was kind of distracted in this moment. Oh, look at Therothy go.
So,
Therothy and Hope Collar.
yeah, the Therothian Hope Caller, you would find, or you would notice as you're moving through the swamp, something a little peculiar. At first you think it's just a stone, but upon closer inspection as you're moving through, you would find several humanoid-like skeletons, partially sunken into the mud, like just piles of bones, and something that's in the area that smells really foul, like poop.
That's not helpful.
Knowledge nature might tell you something here, if anyone has it.
If it's an aberration, I don't think it's an aberration.
It's not an aberration. Beryl, you actually remember something like this because your tribe dealt with it in the past. You think there is a troll den nearby.
Oh.
Like a nasty one, too. A big one.
Yeah, so I'll look around to the group and to Eldeval and say, like, Beryl thinks there's troll. Tribe remember mountain trolls, yes? These are swamp trolls. I really actually just don't know if that's the case, Lou, but she's assuming.
Yeah, I mean, trolls are pretty, not common, but, like, they're fairly numerous in the swamps. Eldeval would say, usually I'd say a troll den should be rooted out whenever one is found, because it could be dangerous to the whole community, but maybe we should just move on and try to avoid it.
Maybe find out how many trolls or how big of threat is this den? Would be maybe useful to Groves to know.
He nods. He says, "Well, I'm just your guide. If you wish to look into this, I'll happily assist. But I'd leave it up to your group and your camp."
Beryl is not strongly motivated that this must happen, but and I'll look around to everyone else.
Yes. If it's not too large of a what's the plural? What's the grouping of trolls?
A den.
I don't know. A den. If it's not too big of a den of trolls, then perhaps we could take a moment so that the numbers do not get too big. If it's large, perhaps we should pass on and see if there's something that is causing it.
So, Beryl, with your roll, you would think this is evidence of a lair, which could be anywhere from like 8 to 20 trolls.
Oh, okay.
Like
it's
a big grouping.
Yeah.
Something's wrong.
Trolls don't generally work together because they're chaotic evil.
This is odd.
Sometimes they do group under a very powerful, ruler.
Well, considering
Mostly
Tribe
out of fear.
investigated strange troll behavior in mountains and found out Shadowlord was behind, Beryl is worried maybe, but also is very big possibly group, and Tribe has other goals, so...
We don't have a good location to rest in between combats with them. We might want to carry on and then find out the situation in the area.
Okay.
Since when are the tribe such cowards? Let's fight. Come on.
And Kate wants to punch some trolls, apparently.
I'm getting bored. This journey through this bug-infested swamp is driving me nuts. Actually, it is a new day. I should really roll rather than
Oh,
roleplay.
see who it is.
Right, exactly.
Is this
It's
No, this
several
is
new
great.
days. It's
Everything's
several new
great.
days. AK is being very, very
Everything's
like
great.
very
No,
flippy
this is still Kata.
from,
This is
from day to day. Nice.
All right, Kata wants to murder some trolls apparently. All right. Well, if let's see.
What if Beryl? What if perhaps some sort of what do you call it? Scouting or checking in on how many?
Well, we would have to find the lair, your guide says, but I'm pretty sure it's in the area. So we just have to look around, and I would suggest we scout it out before we just rush in.
What does Therodi think?
Rosie would like to not be eaten by a troll and far away from him.
Yeah, that's fair.
And Hope Caller was preferring to move on, or was preferring to investigate?
Yes, I want to find out more of the situation in the region before we make a decision on taking out this problem.
Okay. I'm sorry, Kata. Maybe Tribe can come back and put ugly trolls, nasty trolls in place. But for now, it seems Tribe wants to continue current mission. Beryl will remember this place. And then Tribe can return if Tribe wants to.
Make a tree friend?
Beryl did. This one's very nice. She like strokes a tree.
Well, there you go.
All right, so you mark that there is a possible troll lair in the area.
I'll add that to the quests.
And this place is like dense. I mean, it's a swamp, but of course it's dense. There's like life everywhere, but yeah.
All right, so you continue on for the last day. No other encounters.
And this is what day now?
This is so the day you found the troll lair was that was on the 82nd of summer.
Oh wow, 82nd. Okay.
And now it is the 83rd. Go ahead and pay your camp for those 2 days.
Now it's Anna.
Anna.
Good, we have Anna for
Anna dealing with
the druid. that might be helpful.
So in the distance, on the morning of the 3rd day, you've been traveling a couple of, or 4th day, you've been traveling a couple of hours. Wait, do I have the date right? 79, 80, yeah, wait, 79, 80, 81st, 82nd. Should be the 82nd? Did I screw that up? Maybe.
Give or take a day.
Alright, so we'll say it's the 82nd. I might have screwed it up. But it was a 4-day journey. But you see in the distance, kind of rising up above the swamp, there is a large, like, hilly area. And on the hills, you would see several trees and also a very old-looking tower rising off the hills, kind of just popping up over the landscape. You can see it from pretty far because it's up on the hill. You guess it's about 20 to 30 feet tall from here.
Do I recognize the architecture?
Let's see how far.
Like, is it pre cycle?
You can do a history check on this if you want.
Oh,
You
God.
do not.
No, I can't.
Yeah. But yes, this must be, and actually your guide will point that as well. He says, this is one of our, what's it called? Not holy sites.
Places of power.
Place of power. The
Stone circle.
just had the word.
Circle.
Circle? Hedge? Hinge?
This is one of the places of one of the places protected by the Archdruid. She often moves through this area. There will be other druids at the tower, but yeah, this has been here for a long time.
Sanctuary.
Yeah, maybe a sanctuary. Let me just mark this on the map as well. So you begin to approach, and actually, while you're still pretty far back, several birds come flying in, immediately turning into druids, while several others kind of float around above, landing on nearby branches. And one of the druids, who appears to be another lizard folk, steps forward and says, names. He says, Eldevel, you come here with strangers. I do not recognize these people. None of them are druids of our groves. And he says, no, they are not. Hang on, I need to look up his name. No, they are not Eflin. But they are noble souls, and I wanted to help them meet the Archdruid. They have a request. He says, this is very unusual, Eldevel. You know our Archdruid is wary of outsiders. And he says, yes, but these people are quite powerful and actually have a quite powerful druid with them as well. And he points to Beryl.
This is Beryl of Swamp.
Eflin looks at you. He says, a kobold. I don't think I've seen a kobold druid in many, many decades. He says, all right, young one. Have you earned your immortality yet?
Beryl is very old. Beryl is 8.
So I assume that is a no. He kind of says
Go ahead. She's just very early in her immortality. That doesn't mean she doesn't have it. It's just.
He says, well, druids, as they gain power, also gain the ability to not die of natural causes. I believe. Right? Isn't that
yeah, but it's
we don't know.
It's level 20, but yeah.
We don't know. We don't know yet whether or not Beryl will die of or can die of natural causes.
True.
He hasn't gotten that old yet.
Yeah. So he says, at least the elders gain this ability over time. What makes this Beryl so powerful? He says, well, she can step between trees and use them to go great distances. And Eflin says, well, many of the elder druids can do such things. He says, what else can you do, Beryl?
So it's 18 that you get the timeless body. But anyway, level 18. Yeah. Well, what was this new druid's name? What did Eldevel call him?
Eflin.
Well, Master Eflin, what nature magics would impress Eflin?
He scratches his chin. He says, so you can move between trees to go great distances in the through the roots of Gaian, yes?
Yes, trees are Beryl's friends.
He says,
and beasties. Beasties are Beryl's friends too. She'll whistle for Salandine to come up to the front of the party.
He kind of observes you a little closer. He says, you bear markings of the moon. Are you a shapeshifter then?
Yes, Beryl becomes beastie often.
He says, wow. What is the most powerful beast you could turn into? And do you have the ability to turn into the ancient lizards?
The ancient lizards?
Some would call them dinosaurs.
Yes.
Oh, like Beryl's friend. Did she call over?
She called him over.
Well, they're with your camp right now. They're not with you.
Oh, okay. Just Salandine's with me. That's right. That's what we said.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Then yeah. Beryl has seen
dinosaur team assemble, and they all just run.
Beryl has seen
fucking dinosaurs, and I have a bear and a thing.
Yeah, her menagerie. It's
Beryl would be like, oh yes, Beryl knows many giant ancient lizard forms.
He says, and who are these other non-druids who have entered our lands? He says, I see one of them is a Shadow Elf, one of the Shadowfell, a realm we've been having quite a bit of problems with. And he looks to Thorothi.
Thorothi would just look back and wave and go, "Hello there."
Says, what would a Shadow Elf be doing within the swamps of Gaian? What's your business here?
Having a bath.
Kind of looks a little skeptical at that. He says there are much nicer places one could take a bath.
Yes, but we don't get the authentic smell.
And you, Yanti, what is... I see that you are a swarm caller, by the way you manipulate the insects. What is it that you seek here?
I seek to...
something. Is it caller?
Swarmkeeper.
Swarmkeeper, right.
Swarmkeeper. I seek to help Meryl and the tribe assist one of their friends. They also are interested in a long-term goal of mine, just to fix the cycle.
Kind of.
But that is another story.
He says, to fix the cycle. Do you speak of the cataclysms?
Yes.
Let me make a note of something. He now looks at you a little more curiously. He says, what area do you hail from? I didn't even know Yanti existed in this this part of the world. I don't think I've ever seen your kind down here.
Yes, well, this hasn't always been this swamp.
Oh?
Yes. When you are as old as I am, after the 1,000 years, things shift.
I'm very curious as to how you have been alive that long. Though.
It might have involved a special potion to wake him up.
And,
Yes.
What about you, Monk? What's your business?
Oh, I am merely here accompanying my good and wise friend, Beryl. She is generous of heart and wants to do all that she can to assist in not only the future of protecting the future of Gaian, but of all of the planes.
I see. So
Beryl nods emphatically.
So one of you wishes a bath. One of you wishes to help protect the, deal with the cataclysms, and one of you is here to help the druid, who is your friend Beryl.
Indeed.
And how is it that the archdruid can assist you in these matters?
Beryl needs Archdruid's help in order for Beryl to help friend.
He looks over at Eldevel with a kind of a skeptical look, and Eldevel says, the Archdruid has something that could help them. As Beryl mentioned, she has a friend who needs to travel back to its own world. He says, you speak of the fork? He nods and he says, Eldevel, you should not be divulging such things to outsiders.
There was no need. Tribe knew.
Yes.
Eldevel told nothing.
Give me a
It
persuasion.
is not unknown.
Both of you can roll it.
Oh, God. I'll feel bad. All right.
I mean, I guess Eldevel did tell us stuff about, like, the swamp and where the druid is and stuff, but not about the tuning fork. What was it? Persuasion.
Yeah.
Ah!
So
Root.
he looks to you guys, he looks to Eldevel, and finally says, well, I suppose you could have tried to be a lot more aggressive on your approach. But know that the tuning fork is our possession by right. The druids, we had... if the archdruid agrees to talk to you, just remain respectful.
Does Elfin know there is large troll lair nearby?
He says, Elfin does not. What do you mean?
Tribe was traveling through swamp, and there was evidence of trolls. Probably a decent number of trolls.
He says, how close
somewhere
is...
between 8 and 20, a day's travel.
Oh, well, a day's travel is not nearby, but I would imagine there could be several groupings of trolls. Did you see this lair?
No, but Beryl saw some remains of troll meals.
Yeah.
Tribe has faced trolls before, so Tribe is familiar.
This could be useful information to us, then, if it's as big as you say. He says, I will speak with Eldevel and get its location. And Eldevel nods and says, I'd be happy to share. Alright, so for now, I suppose it's good you revealed the troll lair to us. If you wish to follow, or if you wish, we can lead you to the tower, and we'll see if Uthe agrees to speak with you.
Good. Uthe is in residence. Eldevel was not sure if they would be available.
Nods and says she is, yes. She is, luckily you came at a time when she is in this part of the swamp. He says, just no spell casting and make sure your weapons stay away. The druid is not currently taking challenges to gain any challenges for archdruid supremacy of the area.
Oh, so she gets to decide if she accepts them? Sorry, that's out of character. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the druids have to kind of agree to it. She doesn't just... people don't just generally come in, because if they just came in attacking, like, she would, have all her people help defend her. She'd have to know it's a challenge.
Yeah.
And she'd have to accept. But usually they do. Druids randomly, it makes them look bad if they turn down a challenge.
Gotcha.
Alright, so the group heads over to the hill. The other birds just kind of fly away at this point, and Elfin will, Eflin will lead you over to the hill area.
Eflin, I was saying it wrong. Therothi. Therothi has much prettier words than Beryl. Does Therothi want to help talk to Archdruid?
So there we go. I can help talk to Archdruid. I just need a bath bomb for my bath.
He is very, very dirty from all this swamp travel. It's probably very uncomfortable, too, from all the mosquitoes and stuff. Alright, so you approach the old tower, and there are some areas near the back that look like they could be a nice bathing spot, like near the back of the tower. Some
Hot springs.
Hot springs, yeah, exactly.
Hot spring, a hot spring in a swamp. Oh God.
I don't know. Yeah, it does seem like they'd be pretty murky, huh?
Well,
I
it
mean,
seems
necessarily.
it actually seems like the hill itself has a much more controlled plant growth, probably because of the druids that reside here.
It's gonna see two Rockies start stripping gear and go, oh, that looks good.
Yes,
not
help yourself, Eflin says. I need to go and speak for a bit anyway, so you'll have to wait at the base of the tower.
Well,
He says, I should be back soon.
Well, in that case, Beryl will shimmy.
When in the druid swamp, I guess act like a druid swamp. So, yeah, we'll start stripping and going.
Yeah, Beryl will shimmy out of her little studded leather vest and jump in and encourage Celandine to come too.
All right, so you go and bathe a bit, getting all nice and cleaned. After about another 20 minutes, let's say it's about 11:20 at this point, Eflin will return and say, Uthley is unfortunately uninterested in speaking with the group. She is very busy. But
That's.
Can Tribe make an appointment? How long?
Wait. I heard a but.
Oh, sorry.
Wait, did I say but?
You said but. Yeah.
So you would say, yeah, she's not really interested in speaking to you about the tuning fork. My apologies, but you are welcome to stay as long as you need to prepare for your journey back. That's right. That was what the but was.
Oh, okay. So.
So right, we just look and go, can I stay long enough to finish this bar?
As I said, you
Yes.
are welcome to stay at the base of the tower as long as need be.
Goody. This is going to light up his pipe and go, this is quite comfortable, and kind of nod off and have a nap.
That takes a little nap in the spring. And he is going to go back in the tower.
Perhaps. Yeah, so I would talk to the rest of the tribe. Like, perhaps Tribe should ask questions about this darkness. And I'd actually... Is Eldevel still with us, or did he go off to, like, visit with other druids?
No, he's with you. He seems disappointed. He says, I'm sorry, all. I brought you all the way out here, and it was for nothing.
No,
Eldevel.
It's understood.
Yeah. Can Eldevel tell Tribe more about shadows that Archdruid is helping fight in Feywild? Because this was of interest to Tribe beyond Tribe's interest in Tuning Fork to help Friend. Tribe has seen many suspicious things involving shadow magic and fought some shadow magic very recently.
He says, well, all I know is from what my Grove leader Drelazel was talking to our contact about it, which was something about corruption and the void.
Corruption in Void? Tribe has been to Void.
Well, I have no idea what the void is, but apparently it has something to do with corruption in the Feywild.
Oh. Well, Tribe found place in Void that was overrun by Shadowlord, and Tribe kicked out Shadowlord and took over place and cleansed. But maybe there are other parts of Void that need cleansed too.
He says, well, unfortunately, we've been denied entry, so at this point there's no way to get into the tower, at least not without going against the Guardians.
Yes, but if...
Is there...
Uthe... Oh, Mistress Uthe declined to speak with Tribe about Tuning Fork, but maybe there are other things that would be of interest to speak on.
And besides, sometimes to show that one is a friend, one must put some effort in.
He says, well, I know that we could just try to approach her. We'd have to get up to the top of the tower somehow. That could be risky, though. She could take that as a sign of aggression.
Eldevel would support this? Going against the wishes of Archdruid?
I'm not necessarily supporting it, but as your friend said, if he is willing to take a chance and try to just approach her by putting in some work, then maybe that could gain her attention if she is interested in what you have to say about the... What did you say it was? Void?
How tall is the tower?
The tower is about 30 feet. It's not the biggest tower.
And Archdruid's chamber is on top?
Yes, she usually uses the top chamber to overlook this area and uses the form of a bird to quickly travel. Generally an eagle.
Is there like balcony or opening, like kind of like that her chamber looks out onto the swamp?
Yeah, so at the top of the tower you do see a bunch of vines like kind of growing up and out. So he would say, yeah, a lot of the top of the tower is open.
Layer action. All
Of
right.
course, the druids of the area would immediately be upset if we flew up there. So as I said, we just better hope that the archdruid, if she if we get to her, likes what we have to say. But that might be your only option at this point if you still wish to speak with her.
We may need to show good intentions first before we do something so
trolls?
bold. Trolls, or find out if seems to be a pattern of trolls. You were talking about trolls earlier and how they tend to not form large groups like this, unless something is cajoling them to.
Yes.
I'm wondering if there's something happening in the area that we may be able to find some underlying cause.
Well, it's most likely a very powerful troll is just controlling the others. That's the only reason layers form for trolls. There's just a really powerful one.
Beryl could go get Ekris and bring Ekris here. Maybe Ekris is very rare and interesting, and maybe meeting majestic creature of Feywild that desperately wants to get home would change Uthe's mind, and that tribe has nothing good to say.
Would Uthe turn away the suffering of one of the Feywilds?
Uthe Eldevel says Uthe is, as with most druids, she believes in the balance and in keeping order and keeping the cycle of the wild strong. Death is not always bad to us, as death is part of the natural cycle. What we fear more is corruption and the destruction of the land, which is why this Feywild devoid corruption is of such worry to us.
Well, things pushing the denizens of the Feywild out of their place seems like would be not good for the lands of the wilds.
Was this denizen pushed out of the Feywild by something?
It did not come to Gaian by choice.
Well, maybe that might be something of interest to the Archdruid, yes. Again, I couldn't tell you for sure, though. I have never actually met Uthe. I've only seen her. I've never spoken to her. She is quite impressive.
Beryl, it would put your friend at some risk to bring them here directly.
Beryl thinks it's perhaps less risk than staying near Tevanis, where many parties finding Ekris might, take advantage of or imprison or it is less likely for druids to cause harm to Ekris than some others that may find him. Beryl did not go and get Ekris for this journey because Beryl didn't think such a pristine and noble creature would appreciate Beryl's home habitat, but Ekris may be willing to visit these druids.
This hill is fairly nice.
Especially now that you can do it through a tree instead of Ekris having to walk
Precisely.
the entire way. Which, by the way, I'm not complaining. I rather enjoyed it since I'm not the one that was being bitten. Kata was, but still.
And like Hope Collar just like has like a little like what? All right.
I mean, I don't know exactly how that works, but for some reason I didn't feel the biting. I do itch a bit today. I will grant that, but
Eldevel, where's a good place we can walk through the trees without causing disruption?
Oh, Beryl would go right outside, like right where I'm assuming that Druid Growth spell has been cast on this place and that Beryl would recognize that, right?
So yeah, the grounds here have been heavily influenced by druidic magic. There aren't any trees growing up on the hill, which is probably by the choice of these druids.
Yeah.
But there are plenty down at the bottom, where all
Yeah,
the
so
regular swamp
Beryl would, if we decide to go get Ekris, Beryl would be very, very blatant about choosing a tree very much in view of the tower or anyone outside the tower or surrounding the tower or guarding the tower or looking down from her balcony up on the tower. I would make a very blatant show of casting this fairly high level magic, not the one I just linked. That was just me like assuming that that's what's in effect on this place. Although Beryl could cast this as well. But the transport via plants magic, she would go and if we decide to go get Ekris, like she's gonna make that like super blatant. But no, not like right up like
it up. You're gonna ham it up. Is that what you're saying?
pretty much like hey like we are powerful people that maybe you want to like not dismiss because maybe we've got something interesting to offer.
So you're gonna go get Ekris then? Is that the plan?
Does anyone have any other ideas or objections or that like you think we should take a different route first?
No, I think being direct is probably the best choice.
Does everyone want to come? Just in case there's anything that kind of delays Beryl in coming back?
I have no wants to hang out in the swamp without a purpose.
Yes, I will. I agree. I will come with you.
Okay. In that case, Beryl goes and
wait,
hams
hold on
it
a
up.
second.
Okay,
I go over and wake up Dorothy.
He's still basking in the waters.
He's enjoying his bath.
Dorothy, you just hear Dorothy's snot go. What are we doing? Ugh, I was having a good nap there.
Just a quick trip, just a quick day trip, out and back to get a pristine giant swan to accompany us to the swamp. Routine day.
Dorothy would just sit there and go, yeah, sounds about right.
Yeah.
All right.
All
So
right.
hopefully this is as straightforward as we think. Oh, I'm sorry. Eldevel, would you like to come with Tribe just for today and see a little bit of Gaian?
It'll be a day trip.
Oh.
We hope. If nothing keeps us from coming back.
Hey, are you sure it's safe?
Oh, absolutely.
Mostly.
Well, I mean,
often.
there's always dangers, but...
Well,
We
if
do this
it's-
quite often.
you all seem like you know. Well, actually, give me a persuasion, because he is a little bit on the fence.
Oh, God bless. Oh, man.
I
Yeah,
hate
we'll see
persuasion.
how much
Just
confidence
stay
we can
I
instill.
officially hate persuasion.
13.
Hopefully, Dorothy wants to join and encourage.
Yeah, his like blase attitude will push it over the edge.
Dorothy would go, please, we really want to.
Well.
Oh God! Oh,
You're just not selling it, really.
Yeah.
all right, it's all down to Anna Kate. It's all down to Anna Kate now.
I will with my -1 say yes. I do not often beg someone, but please.
Alright.
Oh my word!
Well,
I'm so bad.
Maybe
And it's really creepy the way she says it, by the way.
He says,
Like
maybe I
she
should
does
just.
she tries to do a smile, and it's more like a
Like you
scowl.
tell she's trying a little
to be
too hard.
endearing, and instead
Yeah.
she's off-putting.
She's heard how this is supposed to be done, but not pulling
right.
it off. A little too much
That's
teeth.
all right. If Eldevel not comfortable, does not have to come, but Eldevel talked about how much wanderlust Eldevel feels. So
Yes, I do. But maybe at least for now, I should stay here just in case they come back and wish to speak to you. I mean, maybe the Archdruid will change her mind, and then I'll just
Very
meet
good.
you when you get back.
very good.
If you wish to be a spokesperson for us, we understand. We'll be back relatively soon. So, thank you.
And now our camp is like basically camped outside the tower, I guess.
Yeah, they kind of pulled up, and you have your like,
All right.
Aladdin menagerie of
we have
like
our own, we have
dinosaurs
our own,
and tents.
Yep.
And, like the circus is in
We have, like,
town
our
in the
own, like,
Archdruid
circus.
Tower.
The barrel circus.
They're setting up the bouncy house and the what's it called, the Ferris wheel.
I'm gonna take Celandine with us.
Yeah.
Okay. They've taken over one of the hot water springs and like putting up like
Maybe putting up a dunk tank over it or something.
Yeah.
All right. So you are going to travel.
Yes.
And we don't have to do too much for this. You can just head to the lair, get the swan, and bring it back. It'll just take some time.
Cool. I wasn't sure if there's going to be a challenge.
Has Beryl told us the details about Ekris now, or is this the first time we're
I have
learning?
not told anyone outside the group
okay,
too many details. In fact, I hadn't even shared with Eldevel that it was a giant swan.
So,
I had only said that it was a friend from the Feywild. Yeah.
How do you spell Ekris?
EK. Where was it?
Sorry for the journal.
Now. So I think it's EKRIS, but let's see if we can find it.
Okay, that's good enough.
Yeah, I think it's in Tyrannus. ECRAS.
Oh. What was the name of the freaking
And I just
druid
noticed this travel by plants. This is once per day.
No, it's a spell slot.
Yeah, but I mean, like, you can do it once and then you're out of, like, you can't come back.
No, she can upcast it, and she has a scroll.
Okay.
She also has a scroll that she's been holding on to for emergency purposes. She's actually had that scroll since before she actually could cast this.
All right. I just saw it said 0 of 1 remaining.
Right, but she's got 7th levels.
All right. So before I do this, though, why don't we take a break since we're a little over halfway through?
Yep.
All right. Come back in a little bit.
Okay.
Since we started
I'm back.
Hello.
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 Barrel's actually got 2 8th level spell scrolls as well.
Oh. Can you cast 8th level?
I'd have to roll.
Okay.
I'd have to do a caster check in order. And that's exactly why, like, we got the scroll that she has of transport via plants. We got it before she had 6th level spell slots, so she was kind of saving it for like an emergency, but we never used it. So now she could use it as an emergency extra, transport if we ever need it.
Wait. Do you have Draconic Transformation and you don't use that? I am shocked. Shocked, I tell you.
I actually had considered preparing it, but we've been using her plane shift and her transport via plants so much, and I only have 1 6th level and 1 7th level, so
yeah.
But I would like to find a really fun situation to use reverse gravity, honestly.
I've had it used on me. It's it was weird.
Yeah.
I would suggest a very large battle.
She has used Bones of the Earth and Sunbeam, which are both 6th level. But for the most part, yeah, for a little while now, she's been using her 6th, at least her 6 for transport via plats, if not both 6 and 7, or 7 for plane shift,
Oh, yeah.
Because we've been hopping around a lot. Also, guys, with
using
that travel time we just did, I believe that Titus's belt might be ready.
Oh god damn it.
I mean, I don't know if he'll rejoin us, but it would be cool if when he does, we're like, look what we got for you.
Oh god.
And even if he doesn't.
I don't think glasses and a mustache with a fake nose is going to do it. I'm just, I think we're going to have to really work on our disguise self.
I'm actually talking about the belt that Chiron and Isaac is making for us. You're talking about the like glaive or something, right?
Yeah, I was talking about the glaive. The belt would be freaking phenomenal when he comes back.
Yeah, but you're right. The Gregaro on Minos is making the +3 glaive. That one's not ready till autumn, the 9th of autumn. So we got some time on that one.
And until
not very long though, only a couple weeks.
Until Titus comes back, I can use the belt.
Yeah. I mean, seriously, it wouldn't hurt for our group to have it no matter what, but yeah.
I don't know if that would that actually be of any use.
I mean, anyone who wears it, it's going to increase their strength, but I don't know that is.
No, but I'm like, when I hit someone with the shillelagh, does that do anything?
No, because by casting shillelagh on your weapon, you switch your damage score, your damage ability to wisdom.
Yeah. Well, maybe we can give it to Anna Kate temporarily. No, if we give it to Anna Kate, it may never get back, Titus.
It depends on if it's Kata or Rana.
I think Anna Kate's slots are full, aren't they?
Probably,
Yep.
yeah. Barrel's are too. Barrel literally is carrying around like 5 or 6 attunement items.
I guess it's hope caller or nothing. I'll be able to lift things a lot easier.
Yeah, let's see. Beryl, I know she's got like, I always forget, but I know Spy's Murmur and drink the Ring of Mind Shielding, which is like a story item.
That's a good one.
What is it? Oh, well, that's right. She's using the Ion Stone, and she's got the Staff of Healing, the Staff of Withering.
No, I got the Staff of Withering.
Oh, did we give that to you? Okay, let me uncheck
Yeah,
that.
you got it.
And then I also apparently have a Staff of the Woodlands, but I don't even know that I've ever even used that.
I think isn't that the one we just got?
No.
Yeah, it must be pretty recent, but I haven't attuned to it because I've already got too many. Oh, I see why you guys gave it to me. It says requires attunement by a druid, which is the same thing with that's the reason that she's never passed off the Staff of Healing, is because it is like a druid, or I think there's one other class can use it. Cleric or druid. Oh, bard, cleric or druid. Okay.
I don't remember this one. Holy moly, that's a lot of.
Well, the Staff of Healing Beryl has had since long before you joined us. That's one of the early items that the party found, and she has used it in some pivotal moments.
Too bad it can't be attuned by a ranger. That kind of sucks.
Yeah, or just anyone. I mean, that's such a useful staff. Yeah. So yeah, she's currently, and she also has a tattoo that she hasn't been attuned to for a while now. But yeah, so she's currently attuned to the Ion Stone, the Staff of Healing, and the Spy's Murmur. But
Oh, that's handy for just like taking care of your like utility stuff.
oh yeah, she has used up all the charges on that in a few combats for healing the party, and she's gotten lucky.
I was talking about the Staff of the Woodland. Sorry.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah. Oh, actually, I guess. Oh, wait a second.
Wait, you can awaken things with this?
What? Can you?
Okay.
Yeah.
You need. The staff can produce the spell, which means it doesn't require components. You just do it. And you can awaken one of your creatures and give it an intelligence of 10. It takes like half the charges of the staff to do it, but
Does
like
it say it doesn't require
if you have a magic item that casts a spell, it's like a wand. It's like
oh wow, I can cast
oh
my goodness,
it doesn't require a physical component.
And I can do cast without trace.
Scrolls don't require components. I'm not sure about normal items, but maybe you're right.
I mean, if I have a Staff of Defense and a cast shield, I don't require any of the components for shield. So, like Staff of Withering does the withering effect. I think. I'm thinking of a different staff from that one actually.
Yeah, but this is interesting. I don't think I read this thoroughly. I think we got it pretty recently, and it got given to Beryl just because she was the only one that could attune to it. But I missed this. I can cast without trace at will with this spell.
Yeah.
Or with the staff. So yeah, I should probably. Yeah, that's a good one.
I mean, we got Cast Without Trace. We got a lot of people who can do that. That's great. We have some utility on that. But I'm just thinking, like, how cool it would be to give all of your pets like a 10 intelligence. Like, I just neat on an RP perspective.
Yeah, but isn't it concentration? I don't think I can do it on more than one pet.
Nope. Once they're awakened, they're awakened.
Well,
I remember correctly.
Actually, I think they have to be awakened for a period of time for it to recover.
Duration is instantaneous. So, nope. The target gains 10 intelligence.
Oh, it's charmed by you for 30 days. That's what I was thinking.
And it gains the ability to speak one language you know.
Chooses whether to remain friendly to you after the 30 days.
Yeah. You can actually target a plant too.
That's kind of cool. Also, did you guys notice with that staff, if we're ever somewhere where we don't have a tree to transport via plants, this staff will let me create a tree.
Yeah. So you have to leave it behind if we transport it via plant.
No, I reach through, grab the staff, and that's what makes the tree shift back.
It works that way?
I don't know. That'd be up to Lou.
Just call it a hunch and say,
I'm just saying if it comes down to like life or death.
I mean, it works great if it's something where we might come back to it. Like,
True.
if we're, if we're.
Here's the little glitch that it being in the staff doesn't change at all. Casting time, the time to cast it, is 8 hours.
Mm-hmm.
So it would take a day to awaken one of your creatures.
Right.
I guess in theory you could awaken 2 creatures in a day. I mean, in theory.
Yeah. If you slept for the third, like that, for the last 8
You
hours.
want to risk destroying the staff for it.
True.
Yeah. I mean, that would kind of suck. Because then all the rest of your pets are like their dumb brothers at that point. And you're like, oh, well,
Right.
I mean, that staff is amazing. There's a reason why it's major tier. I mean, that is like a badass staff. Mind you, honestly, awakening creatures isn't like... It doesn't really change their stats.
Beryl thinks
other
that
than
the idea is really fun. Like, Beryl might go around and start awakening trees in the swamp here now, but like, I don't know if we're going to be here long enough.
Waking your fur babies first. I mean, come on. Well, I guess scale, fur, and feather baby? Whatever. Because all that would
I've got one fur baby. The others are all scaly kind.
They can talk and they have a 10 intelligence. That's like all that changes.
Actually, I kind of love the picture
I
of
always find like the awakened spell, like that's just freaking cool. So yeah.
I actually kind of love the picture of this Staff of the Woodlands too. It's like, it basically looks like a little tree.
Yeah. That's really cool. That is really, really neat.
Yeah, I agree.
Huh. How much of an artificer do we have to be able to make that?
Is everyone back?
An artificer can't make it, but an artificer can use it at, I think, 10th or 11th level when they get the ability to ignore class restrictions on magic items.
Oh, that's true.
Well, if that happens, I'm going to hand you this. I'm going to hand you the Staff of Healing before I hand you this.
I've had this like idea about. This is a weird tangent. I'll be real fast about it. I've had this idea for a character that I know really can't pull off as a PC, like just like as a, it just can't. But an NPC druid who learned how to awaken and put tattoos on animals and has adopted a forest and just awakens and tattoos like all the animals. So like sparrows with like Eldritch Claw. And like bears who can fly, and that's what she does to protect her forest. She's the only druid in this forest, and she just goes around tattooing awakened animals.
You are totally going to be facing that druid in my next campaign.
But it would be so cool.
just traversing the woods will be the first half of the mission.
Exactly.
Oh my god, it would be so neat. But anyway, sorry, my apologies. Yes. Westeroth, are you back?
Yes, I'm back.
He's done taking his bath.
And now we're about to pick up a swan.
Alright, so you're going to go pick up the swan, then come back?
Yes, as long as I'm able to find Ekris, and Ekris likes this idea and is okay with going to the swamp, which Beryl will tell Ekris how wonderful the swamp is, but of course I'm assuming Ekris knows what a swamp is, so...
Ekris is not too keen on going to a swamp, but if it's going to get him home, he'll try it.
Yeah, Beryl would explain that we're going to go to a place in the swamp that druids have been keeping pristine and see if we can talk them into helping.
So yeah, Ekris will say, well, as I said, if it gets me back to the Feywild, then I shall attempt it. But
well, these druids have the item that Beryl would need that would let Beryl take you home right away. But the druids don't trust Beryl because they don't know Beryl. And so Beryl is hopeful that meeting Ekris will make the druids maybe reconsider.
Well, I can certainly talk to them, maybe convince them of my plight.
Also, well, Beryl thinks that maybe Ekris might be safer around the Druid Grove. I mean, there are dangerous things in swamp, but but maybe safer around Druid Grove than here on coasts of Tyvanus with human ships coming and going and hiding from those here.
I agree with Beryl on this.
Oh, did you go with her?
Yeah, everyone did.
I mean,
We all
assuming
went,
we're all
yeah.
Oh,
there.
okay. So
We didn't want to risk splitting the party.
Yeah.
Sure.
I didn't know if if I was going to get back and Ekris was going to be missing or.
No, he's there. He's not
Okay, good.
too keen, but he seems like he will reluctantly follow you.
Excellent.
So Ekris will temporarily join your camp as you cast another spell, Journey Back.
And I don't think, it didn't even ask. It didn't even ask me to upcast, so I'll subtract the level sum separately.
Okay.
I have a picture of this. Or is he just a
Ekris
giant
the
swamp?
He's
Giant
basically a giant swan, yeah.
He's from the Feywild book.
Oh, okay.
Unfortunately, I don't have any stats on him.
I at one point I posted them in.
I mean,
It's probably buried now.
compendium.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean? Oh, yeah.
Even though I do have a book that should have one.
What, you didn't buy that book on Roll20? For shame.
Yeah. All right. Well, you go back through.
Unfortunately, there's no art. It's just the generic
this giant
image.
swan.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
So yeah, the party would return, coming back through with this giant swan into like your camp, which is kind of assembled at the bottom of the hill.
And so poof, we all arrive back with this amazing swan right under their noses.
It looks like a shadow beast. What the fuck?
Well, that's the generic image anywhere that they don't actually put an image in the Roll20 or in the D&D Beyond compendiums. Yeah. It's like that. That's the default image. Yeah. It does not look like that.
What do you want to do?
I would wave at the druids because I'm assuming some of them were like standing guard or visible or around the tower or something.
You don't really see any of the druids around the tower at this point. You assume a bunch of them are watching you in animal form, but none of them are making their presence known.
Okay. Well, then let's go up to the base of the tower and hang around the entrance. I'm not going to go in since the druid said that she didn't want to see us. I don't want to necessarily completely flout her, but I don't know. We've got a beautiful, giant, intelligent swan with us. Don't they want to come see what's up?
Remember, these are swamp druids.
We should introduce Eldevel.
Yeah. Let's see if we can find
yes.
Eldevel. Good idea.
So Eldevel is fascinated by this giant swan and will immediately start talking to it. A little bit maybe intimidated by it because of how large it is and the fact it could probably just peck him in half.
Well, and plus, it's pretty intelligent as most beasts that druids would be used to goes, you know?
Yeah.
So, he has a bit of a discussion with it. I'll say to the group, this is quite the creature. But I'm not sure if the druids will allow us entry again, even with it here. We sort of told them already that we wish to bring this creature back to the Feywild, and she still denied meeting with us.
Yeah. We didn't say what the creature was, though, before, I don't think.
No, that's fair.
We just said our friend, yeah. All right, what else can we do to make the druid impressed with us? We want to go kill some trolls?
I don't know if she has even seen us. If she's at the top of the tower, she might just be busy with something else.
Ekris, can you fly? Can we do a flyby?
Ekris says, I'm a swan. Of course I can fly.
Oh, that's a pretty one, Hope Caller.
Oh, yeah.
If you wish, I can fly you to the top of this stone tower.
Perhaps that would be considered a bit aggressive.
No, yeah, I didn't mean actually landing in the druid's area. I just meant,
Just fly past her.
Yeah.
Just do a perusal of the Druid Grove, perhaps.
Yes, I can fly through the area and maybe show myself off a little. Perhaps my impressive features will get the attention of your druids.
I'll have Celandine go up as well, just because I don't want any I want someone to be able to help if there's any dangers presented to Ekris while they're flying.
Back.
All right, so the swan flies up. Doesn't get too close to the top of the tower, but sort of flies around the area. You would notice several birds kind of keeping watch and maybe even flying in the area that they are. After a small amount of time, a eagle will kind of land in front of the tower, transforming into Eflin. He'll say, I've noticed your camp and your people have arrived here, crowding the place a bit, and you seem to have a giant swan with you as well. Is there a reason you have it flying around the area?
Just stretching its wings.
Oh.
It has been stuck in. It has had to hide for a long time since it was unnaturally ousted from its home and sent to Gaian. So this is one of the first times it could actually display itself to stretch and fly for a while.
It's home in the Feywild.
Yes,
by the way.
exactly. Yes.
Is this the creature you spoke of that you wish to return home?
Yes.
Well, how does a creature get unnaturally shunted from the Feywild?
Let us ask.
Anything about that?
Actually, Beryl did say that creature did not wish to come to Gaian and came here against will. But Beryl doesn't know whole story, so let's ask it. It is much smarter than most beasts. He is much smarter than most. It's a he, right?
Yeah. So if you remember, I mean, you'd probably remember because you spoke to him a bunch about it. You think he accidentally came through a portal.
Oh, okay. See, I remembered that it was not his choice to come here. I did not remember him saying that it was like him wandering in through the wrong spot or something. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's basically what happened. He was in a place where the veil was thin, and unfortunately wandered through while that was happening, not realizing it.
Oh, well, perhaps the druids would want to know, like, that where that location is. Maybe it's a thin location that they're not aware of. It's not here in their territory, though, I guess. It would probably be up near Tavanas.
Yeah, it would be up near Tavanas where you found it.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So he says, well...
how common are these thin places?
You asking him?
Yes.
He says, well, the veil can thin quite easily in places of heavy wooded areas. Also, just in places where the spirits of nature and Gaian are quite strong. At certain times, the boundaries become blurred, and this is when things can come through. He says it's mostly in places of druidic power.
Those were. Yes, I thought most of those thin places were somewhat known, and they didn't just randomly appear unless something had shifted.
So some of them are well known, but other times new ones form and old ones fade away. So it can be quite chaotic sometimes.
Beryl has heard that Mistress Uthe assists the denizens of the Feywild in fighting Shadow. Beryl and Beryl's tribe, no, not Beryl's tribe, but like Beryl and tribe have fought shadows, very dangerous shadows, seeking very terrible rituals, both here on Gaian and in Shadowfell and in Void. Perhaps Beryl doesn't know what is going on that Uthe assists with in Feywild, but perhaps there could be knowledge shared to assist all those who fight Shadow.
Give me a persuasion.
No, not persuasion. God, why do I keep doing this?
Can I give her the help action?
I'll give you. Well, the difficulty is not as high because you made a good argument, but I mean you could say something as well if you want and make a roll.
I'm gonna use inspiration. The inspiration you guys gave me last week, so I'm down to 1 after this. But all right, here goes.
Sure.
Yeah.
15. 13. That's not
Better
bad.
than I've been rolling.
That's not bad.
I'll say, well, it's you say you are fighting a corruption. Maybe you could tell me a little bit more about that.
Well, Tribe is still trying to learn all there is to know. But Tribe met dark creature, dark consciousness that was trapped. Old friend of Tribe accidentally freed and carried this creature for a time. And slowly creature became more and more powerful. And Tribe learned creature's name and title and called himself Shadowlord. And Tribe learned that Shadowlord was responsible for many dark rituals that killed many beings and many dark experiments in 12th cycle long ago. And Therian dwarves trapped Shadowlord where it was that Tribe found Shadowlord, but the prison had become weak and Tribe did not know what they encountered at first. And then later Tribe learned of second Shadowlord that had learned from Gaivok before first Shadowlord was trapped. This Shadowlord went on and did many terrible rituals and much larger numbers of people killed for hundreds of years after first Shadowlord was trapped. And then second Shadowlord was trapped too. Second Shadowlord was thwarted by good priest when Shadowlord was trying to decimate city of Char. This was 100 years ago. After same Shadowlord had decimated city of Issac. So, you know what, Beryl's just going to keep rambling, but she's putting it all out there.
I hate to say this, but I think this might be Hope Color's first time hearing the full story.
I mean, I think, didn't I try and post like a summary, but I know there's so much lore. There's so much lore.
In there. Weren't a lot of names in there. And so Hope Color, she's like, okay, 12th cycle, that was my original cycle. Do I know the Shadowlord?
You went to high school with him.
No, you wouldn't. You probably wouldn't know who the Shadowlord is, though.
But then she named him. She actually said his name. So.
Gaivok. No,
I was initially.
He wasn't that famous at the time. He was still starting his career.
You were more in the deep, weren't you?
I started in the deep, then I was on the surface, and then pretty much all over looking for stuff about
it sounds like you were early in the cycle then, right?
I was late in the cycle.
Oh, okay.
Well, the druid would say, I have no idea who the Shadowlord is.
1987 of the 12th cycle. So.
Yeah, I have no idea who the Shadowlord is, but the story of corruptive influences could be of use to us.
Tribe has learned that Shadow Lords want to make these crystals that can be used as power sources for old technology, but these crystals require deaths and souls. And Shadow Lords have been... Sorry, go ahead.
How dense are the souls in the Feywild? If you were trying to empower a crystal full of souls, how dense are the souls in the Feywild? How strong of wills do they carry?
Yeah, Shadow Lords are seeking ways to make stronger crystals more quickly. So if there are creatures of the Feywild that maybe are stronger in this way, that may be a reason. Beryl doesn't know what shadows your Arc Druid helps fight in the Feywild. Beryl just wonders if there could be a connection, because Tribe discovered plots before where Shadow Lords were trying to find creatures that were extra powerful to use in these rituals besides the regular humans they'd been using before.
Well, it sounds like Eldevel has told you much of what we are involved in.
No, Eldevel said only fighting Shadow, and the Tribe, having fought so much Shadow for so long now, wondered if there was connection, and this is why Tribe tells you so much.
Which makes it sound like there may be a connection, if it sounds so familiar.
Give me another set of persuasion checks.
Oh, damn it. Can I burn an inspiration on persuasion?
If you haven't used one yet, sure.
Yeah.
You can only use one per short rest.
Yeah. 13.
Come on. You want to talk to us. You really do.
He just arches
Yes, listen to
eyebrow.
Therodi.
He says,
Listen
like,
to the
Ah, yes, listen to Therodi.
it works. Charisma characters, goddamn.
so yeah, I mean, he still kind of arches an eyebrow. It's kind of a weird argument. He'll say, well, some of this could be relevant as to what we're facing, and you do seem to be, if all of you've told me is true, then maybe somewhat powerful of a group. And if nothing else, perhaps the Archdruid can offer this swan sanctuary within her lands, at least till it can pass through the veil. I believe I should probably approach her again with this updated information. Hopefully she will not be angered by my persistence. Alright, let me give her your plea. Go ahead.
Good luck.
Oh.
So let's see, smile and go, thank you.
Yes, indeed. Let me give her the second plea to an audience.
I feel like Kata would be disgusted if she was here for this, because she's like, I thought we were going to come steal the freaking tuning fork. Now we're telling them everything.
She'd be like climbing up the back
really
of the tower right
unfortunate that Anna was the one that rolled. I rolled Anna's personality today. This could have gone very differently.
I don't know.
I'm actually very curious how this will come out if we actually just
see.
like legitimately negotiate.
I can just see that we went to get Ekarus, and Anna's like, oh, I'll hang out here, and then we come back and she's like snuck into the tower and stolen some shit.
Yeah.
Again,
wrong one.
If I had rolled Kata, might have gone differently.
Alright, so some time is passing. Let's see. It's probably about 2 o'clock at this point after all the traveling and talking. Say 2 p.m. And at about 2:30, you'll say about half an hour later, as you're waiting, maybe getting a little bit antsy, the door would open and you would see someone new there. She says, you must all be the tribe. You seem to really wish to speak with me. Well met. She stares at you through.
That is.
Oh, that's how you spell it. God damn it.
Yeah,
That's how you spell it.
I actually was pretty close on spelling it.
I
did not have the W.
I was way off. I spelled it like it was, I think, like more like Slavic or Viking or something like.
So she definitely
did have a hyphen.
The woman definitely has a bit of an intensity to her look, but she still seems very like even-tempered and very neutral, even though you get the feeling there's a lot of power behind her calm visage. She says,
Can I try to emulate one of the like gestures or bows or salutes or whatever of respect that I've seen the druids use with each other since we've entered the swamp?
Sure. Give me a performance, I guess.
Not necessarily the lizard folk one that we tried to do before, unless that's the only one we've seen, but like just one I've seen.
I thought there was like a druid language.
You'd probably know the Cobalt one and the lizard folk one from, being from the swamps.
Then I'd probably do the Kobold one because I did the lizard folk one so poorly the other day, but it doesn't look like I'm doing the Kobold one all that well either.
You haven't done it in a while. So she'll just give you a nod and say, such gestures are not necessary, little one. I am curious to know, more about this Shadowlord. Gaivok, you called him. You say he is or when I was told, he is some sort of a corrupting influence and responsible for dark magics, though more to the north outside my territories.
As far as tribe knows, Shadowlord has lived for at least 2 cycles and was active in 12th cycle in doing experiments that Gaivok believes may lead not to knowledge of how to stop cataclysms, but Gaivok has no concern for how many lives are consumed in these experiments. And at some point, Therian dwarves trap Gaivok. Before being trapped, Gaivok trained an apprentice named Malik. And
So,
after Guybach trap,
You don't.
Sorry, go ahead.
I mean, you don't have to role play to tell her the whole
Okay.
story. You could just say you're telling.
I was kind of like, I don't be even more concise about it this time because I know I kind of rambled the last time, but yeah.
But as you're talking,
I like Barrel's ramble. It's all good.
give me a D10 roll.
Ooh.
Oh no,
Ooh.
that's a
Uh-oh.
odd die.
D10. Are you there, Thorothy?
Yes, I'm here. Sorry, my mic was muted apparently.
No
Oh,
worries.
okay.
Give me a D10 roll.
D10. 2 seconds.
Okay.
Oh, good or bad?
It might be a table, so it might not be good or bad.
Yeah,
Just
it might not matter.
what did we roll?
I think even tables tend to have 1 is the worst option and 10 is the best. Just from my
Yeah.
experience.
Yeah.
I guessed the number and it was really not that.
So
It was the other end of the
you
spectrum.
feel a
I
little bit
imagined it
odd,
was 0 on the end.
Thorothy. A familiar feeling, though, as something on her necklace, a small crystal, begins to buzz with energy. And suddenly the wall of the tower generates a large amount of unblinking eyes. They're all just kind of staring at you.
I think wild magic just happened.
She looks at the wall, then looks at you and says, "What did you
And
do?"
the wall looks back.
Yeah, well, the wall is just
Thorothy,
staring, unblinking at Thorothy.
Dorothy would look at the eyes and just kind of wave.
Yeah, they just continue to stare at you, unblinking. And she says, "What just happened? Did you do that?"
Possibly. Dorothy would look at the party and go, "Are you seeing what I'm seeing here? Is that a wall of eyes?"
Do we all see it?
Oh yeah, you all see it.
Yes, I think
That's
that
creepy.
is a wall of eyes. Is your
Barrel
tower
will-
a mimic?
Farrell will go over and poke one of the eyes. Not like aggressively, but more like very, very like gently. Like, is this real?
Yeah, it's squishy as you poke at it. Still unblinking.
Don't-
Oh, this looks
Don't
yummy.
be rude. Don't be rude. It might be a
So-
mimic.
Uthe looks at the crystal she saw kind of spark, and she looks to you and says, "Are you a creature of the void by chance?"
Dorothy would smile and go, "Yes, funnily enough, I am.
Oh,
Don't worry, this has happened before, possibly. Not in this type of circumstance where it's a
she says,
wall of eyes, but something similar has happened."
I don't think I've encountered a shadow elf before. At least not for a long time.
So Dorothy would bow and go, "Name is Dorothy. I am at your service. Possibly, until whatever happens.
She says, I know, well, it's good to meet you, Thorothy. I know that your kind is quite common within the Shadowfell, though I've not known many of you to be associated with the Void."
Yes, funnily enough, that would be part of the village I am from. We are closely associated with the Void."
She looks at the crystal again. She says, "This crystal is something I returned with from one of my recent trips to the Feywild. There was a whole field of these crystals corrupted and spewing dark energies. I took this one, studying it and stabilizing it, using it in one of my magical item creations here, though something about you seems to have awakened something within it."
Interesting. I do not know what it is. It'd be interesting to find out.
And she says, "Well, do you have any idea why it would react this way to you?"
Well, I do have the slightly wild magic about me, but that is the only thing I could think of. Whenever I'm around certain magical items, it kind of tends to go, what's the word? Haywire. We discovered this when we tried to go to a different dimension, different plane. That did not end well. Well, almost didn't end well.
I see. She kind of thinks to herself for a moment. Well, when I first heard that you were at my doorstep, I thought you may be one of the Empire lackeys looking for the tuning fork. Though it seems there's more to you than I originally thought. So you have my attention with your display of a giant swan and your arcanist here who seems to spew chaotic magic. So how can I help you in your group? Exactly.
Yes. The first thing we wish to discuss is our good friend here and getting them home, if possible. And I'll introduce the giant chicken. No, swan.
She looks over to the giant. Well, the giant swan's still swooping around.
Well, I think when we came in, we probably would have been like, Ekris, come on.
Oh, well, you're still outside. She came down to meet you.
Oh, okay. Well, then, yeah, we'd be like, Beryl would be like, Ekris, come down.
So you wave over, and the big swan will come flying over and say, hello there, pretty little elf woman. I am Ekris of the Feywild. And she says, you are quite majestic of a creature, Ekris. You are welcomed in my realm as long as you behave yourself. He says, yes, of course. I will behave myself. And she says, excellent. Well, I would be happy to assist your swan in getting home, though a trip to the Feywild usually comes when the veil is thin. Perhaps I can get her home sooner. Is that all that you've come here wishing for? Your swan to be returned to the Feywild?
That was the original hope, is to get our friend to their proper place. But now that we hear stories of crystals and shadows. Corruption, it makes us more concerned about.
We wonder if what you oppose may be related to what we have opposed for some time now and continue to work against.
You think this Shadowlord of yours is related to the corruptions I battle against in the Feywild?
It is uncertain, but we know the Shadowlords continue to seek ways to make more powerful soul crystals. Also, Lou, is this crystal... You said she's wearing it like a pendant or something?
It's on like a little thing of rope or string with a bunch of different charms attached to it. One of them being this small crystal.
But it's still much smaller than any of the soul crystals.
It's not a soul crystal, no.
Okay. Well,
when you said she has a memory necklace. She has a memory necklace. Does it have like a little heart, a little friendship bracelet?
It has a bunch of different shapes. No, there's nothing as obvious as a heart.
Stone from Nebraska or something.
Yeah. Probably like a necklace of prayer beads or something. Like each one of those like charms can probably kill you, and you're making fun of them.
No, I mean, yeah, but I'm just saying,
Yeah, she has.
Okay, no. When you said when she talked about fields of crystals that were leaking, like I wasn't sure if they might have similarities to soul crystals, which we have of course seen and even repaired. So that was going to be my question. But you say it doesn't seem like it's the same.
So it's a lot smaller than the soul crystal. If this is one, you've never seen one this size. Like it's basically, like I said, attached to a string with a bunch of other small charms.
So I would explain to her like that we don't know if this is related, but we do know that the Shadowlords have been seeking new ways and new victims to make their experiments more powerful. And I would explain why some parts of what she said about these crystals did align with crystals that we've encountered, And I would tell her about the troll plot, the everlasting one thing.
Well, yeah, they already told her about the troll lair because you gave her the information.
No.
Oh, do you mean what you encountered in the mountains?
I mentioned we had fought trolls before, but I hadn't mentioned the thing where the everlasting ones were specifically being created and then preserved in ice so that the Shadowlords could come back later and make
giants.
powerful crystals out of them. Yeah.
She says,
Yeah.
well, this is all news to me. I didn't know anything about soul crystals or energy being drained, but that would actually make some sense with some of the things I'm seeing. As it seems like energy drain and corruption is occurring within the Feywild. She says,
And Shadowlords seem to have been able to cross between Shadowfell and Gaian and Shadowfell and Void. That's what Tribe knew before coming here. But now, what Tribe doesn't, Beryl doesn't question the possibility that maybe Shadowlords have found ways to go to other planes to seek their ends there.
I don't know anything about Shadowlords. The enemies I fight are some sort of shadow elf cult known as the Followers of Shadow.
Oh, there is a cult on the Shadowfell.
Sorry.
Oh, okay. I was about to say there's a cult on the Shadowfell called Children of Shadow that follow Malik.
She says, I didn't know much about them. You say they follow one of your Shadowlords.
Yes. Tribe encountered this Shadow Lord last in Issyk, and I don't know, I'd try to give a approximate number of weeks ago or whatever. As far as Tribe knows, this Shadow Lord was expelled back to Shadowfell and is regaining power. But when Tribe visited Shadowfell, even though Tribe did not find Malik again, Tribe encountered much of these children of Shadow, even ones that were performing rituals just like Malik had. And Tribe, in fact, saw a city decimated by one of these rituals. Go ahead.
Perhaps you can tell me about your experiences with them in the Shadowfell. And again, you don't have to, role play it all, but you can say you spend the next hour just talking about your stories.
Yeah, and I think, at this point, I feel like we've kind of committed, and I apologize if I kind of just jumped in and did that without...
Yeah,
No,
does anyone else
good.
want to say anything? I'll say, Thorothi, Anna Kate, Hopecaller, do you all have anything you wish to say to Uthe, or just in general?
I'm just going to explain that we just have to be slightly careful about my magic. It is a bit, what's the word, temperamental.
She nods. That much is apparent.
And
sorry, what did you say the name of the? What did you say the name of the cult was?
Children of Shadow.
Children of Shadow, yeah.
Children of Shadow. Okay.
Yeah, well, he said something else initially, but the one we encountered in the Shadowfell was children, yeah.
That's what.
And then I think Lou, you corrected it, right?
Yeah, it is the.
So they are the same on the Feywild.
Those are the ones that she suspects are behind this through her druids. So
and since we actually have the intel that the Children of Shadow follow Malik or worship Malik or whatever the word is, that actually would be new information for her, right?
She, yeah, for sure. So she is very interested to hear more about these. So
that's kind of the first
of yours called the.
Yeah, that's.
What were they called? Twilight something. Or Midnight Pyre. Midnight Pyre.
Oh, the Midnight Pyre, yeah.
She says, do you have any allies of these Midnight Pyre that perhaps I could be in contact with?
We do,
fight
but
the same enemies, we could maybe help each other.
We do have allies on the Shadowfell and also in the stronghold that we left in the Void. But unfortunately, we lost a member of our party who was able to transport us between those places most easily. We went back and forth many times. After his loss, Beryl was able to learn the magic, but Beryl has never found a tuning fork for the Shadowfell, so Beryl has been unable to return us.
I as well do not yet have a tuning fork for the Shadowfell, as I've been unable to follow many of their operatives through the portals they open using their tuning forks. I was hoping I could bargain for one from one of the princes within the Feywild, but so far I haven't had much luck. Even though I'm helping them, they seem to be very fickle about trading with us.
Was were the mages of Tyvanus also fickle? That you did not seek an alliance with them?
You speak of the Phoenix Guild, she says with some disdain. She
Beryl
says,
just shrugs.
our people and them have had our misunderstandings in the past. They have been responsible for destroying several of our, I keep wanting to say holy sites, but several of our sites of power, places precious to Gaian for their own
How recently?
research.
Sorry. How recently did these desecrations occur?
This is the most recent one was about 10 years ago, and it's how they how they obtained the fork that we rightfully took back.
I think that Beryl would not know. Okay, so I have a question that immediately came to Beryl's mind, and oh, did she just say that they took the fork?
From
That
one
they
of the
just stole
holy
back?
sites, yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
interesting. Okay, but I would also look at the rest of my group because I don't think Beryl would know the answer to this. But just like historically, how long has Symphony been in charge?
The Archmage.
Would we even know?
I guess that would
might
be a
not.
history check, like that
Which
would
Beryl
be
Beryl's not trained.
Empire history. If anyone
I am
has
not
history.
trained either.
So it may be moot. It may be something that I don't know, unless the
Yeah,
others have been.
none of you might know.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. All right. So Beryl would say cautiously, like, Beryl has been, Tribe has been honest with Tribe's opposing of these shadows, and Tribe has continued to learn more, and Tribe still seeks knowledge. In fact, Tribe has a lead that may give information on how Shadowfells can be, or Shadowlords can be, at least detained, if not more. But there's much Tribe doesn't know. But Tribe has been honest because once Tribe learned there may be similarities in what you opposed to what we have been opposing, Tribe felt it best to share knowledge. So Beryl will now share that much of Tribe's exploits and learnings and work against the Shadowlords has been shared with and supported by the current leader of Phoenix Guild. Beryl does not know if this particular leader has had any run-ins with your people, but it does appear that there may be a mutual enemy and maybe a opportunity for setting aside differences, even if temporarily. Beryl is not asking for decision now. Beryl is just saying is worth considering. Maybe. Beryl wonders.
Give me a persuasion.
Here I go again. I'm such an idiot.
She says, well, let's see what you roll.
I mean, I was trying to say, like, just planting a seed. You don't have to make a decision.
I think the druid knows it though. So
Yeah.
I'd be much more interested in meeting these Midnight Pyre you spoke of. The Shadow Elves are much more, organizations of the Shadowfell are much more ancient and noble than these human pretenders, these Empire lackeys.
The Shadowfell and the Feywild and other planes have the cycles as well, yes?
No. Only Gaian has the cycles.
Wait, I thought that one of the reasons Skyvok was so set on working against the cycles was that his people were affected, but like he's from the Shadowfell, right? Sorry, did I miss that?
His
Did I
power is
misunderstand that?
drawn from the Shadowfell. He's not from the Shadowfell.
Oh, I totally. Well, why does he go back
Or
there
at
when we
least he looks
track him on Gaian?
He looks like a human when you've seen him not inside of
Blacker.
people.
Well, he was possessing bodies when he looked like a human.
Yeah, but even when he was forced from the body, he looked human. He's
Okay,
linked
all right.
to the Shadowfell, but his people are not the Shadow Elves, from what
I
you know.
missed that.
They just work with him. They're basically like a cult leader.
Yeah, they kind of the Children of Shadow now seem to worship
He's almost
Malik,
like a warlock patron because he grants a lot of power to his followers.
I see. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And it's
And
black.
do I remember correctly that he has Rayless again? Didn't he take Rayless out of the prison?
No, I think Rayless just left. Rayless went home. I think one of you. Is this the wait? Is this the group with Rayless?
Yeah.
Yeah, Rayless was one of our original
I
members.
thought that
Yeah.
Rayless, the Shadowlord, was forced from him, and like you basically just bargained for him to be released, and he just.
Oh, we
left.
did. But then during the encounter in the Twilight Sanctuary, so we pushed him out of Rayless again during that encounter, and then the Yali and her angels did not trust Rayless to not be a threat, so they put him in one of the cells.
Captured him, and then I think
And
later
then
you.
and then we went into the portal where we fought the Atropole, and it ended up passing like 2 or 3 seasons before we came back, where we like lost a bunch of time. And when we came back, he was missing.
Yeah, he's missing, but you don't know if he's the Shadowlord. He's just gone.
Oh no, I didn't ask if he was the Shadowlord. Okay, yeah, sorry. All right, that's fine. All right, we don't know. All right, sorry, speculation.
So, yeah. Anyway, Uthe, what was she talking about? Oh yeah, she says, again, I have no interest in the Phoenix Guild or their lies and deceits, but these Midnight Pyre could be an organization worth talking to, as we have a common foe.
Well, then we must find a way to return to Shadowfell, so that tribe may re-up the contracts we have. If there's a way to the Void or the Shadowfell, tribe has links, has portals between these two.
Am I wrong? I thought we had a circle to the stronghold, and then from the stronghold we could go to the Shadowfell.
We can.
Okay.
So if we can get to the Void, then we can get to the Shadowfell. If we can get to the Shadowfell, we can get to the Void.
No, I thought we had some in. I thought we had like a circle in Issyk. Am I wrong? I'm wrong.
Well, Issyk.
We
So Issyk is due to the corruption there. Issyk, like the woods, like has areas where the veil is, weaker, and you can pass over into the Shadowfell. At least that's how you originally got there. Remember, I think the people there helped you pass through.
Right?
Someone helped us with summoning a portal, I believe.
Oh, that's right. That was Anake's sword.
And we went through with the vampires, and then we let the vampires loose on the Shadowfell.
Yeah, you basically banned. Like you took the vampires out of Issyk, and basically they.
Well, we thought they were gonna like help us and like travel with us in the Shadowfell, and then they're just like, yeah, we're gonna do our own thing.
Yeah, the vampires weren't.
But we got them out of Issyk.
So yeah, just an invasive species added to a world that has no natural.
I mean, to
counters
be
it.
fair, there are vampires in the Shadowfell. They wouldn't be the first ones.
Okay.
Like,
these were vampires. These were vampires. These were all victims of Malik. These vampires wouldn't have existed and wouldn't have lost their human lives without Malik.
Okay. See,
Anyway.
I thought there was some weird circle thing that we could, or like basin or something.
So we have so you might be thinking of the hollow points, which are a network of teleportation circles that were used by the Therian dwarves. Those are points all around Gaian.
Okay.
All right. And there is a point in Issyk. But they don't travel to other planes. Now, at the same time, we did at one point, I think this might have been before you were with us, but it could be something that you're remembering. At one point, when we wanted to travel to the Shadowfell, because after we fought the Shadowlords, a whole bunch of our people, our NPCs, our camp basically, was blipped away from us. And we got some sort of intel that they were on the Shadowfell being held hostage. So our first, primary motivator to go to the Shadowfell wasn't to go find the weakened Shadowlords that we had sent there. It was to go find our people.
So
so we arranged somehow. I don't remember how it happened, but we found someone who was able to open it.
Cut a hole and you could go to the Shadowfell?
You're right. It was Shadow Strider. You're right.
Yes.
It was Shadow Strider.
Lou said that like 5 minutes ago.
I'm so sorry. I missed that.
So,
it's all
I'm
right.
so sorry. Anyway, we took the vampires.
Anyway,
enough.
sorry.
Aside,
I just thought we had a way back to the Void keep, but we don't.
Well, Lou said that even though we traveled there so many times with Sim, he said that Beryl wasn't doing any of that transportation, and she wouldn't have memorized the sigil. So we have to get back in some other way before Beryl will then be able to utilize that circle.
So let's play in the current, because we've spent a lot of time talking about things that have happened.
Yeah. Exposition. Sorry, my apologies.
Yeah. All right. So I am completely confused as to what I was talking about. Let me try to get back into what was going on.
He doesn't want to work with
Uthe-
the guild.
Uthe doesn't want to work with the guild. Okay, I think I got it. Uthe says, so, you've come here to ask me to bring this noble creature back to the Feywild, as well as offer your services to help with our current predicament. Is that correct?
At least
And
work
perhaps
together, yes.
Share intel. Yes.
As
And
I
if
s-
Tribe can find way to return to Shadowfell, Tribe will arrange alliance with, what were they called?
with the Midnight
the
Pyre.
Pyre. Yes. But
Okay.
currently, Tribe hasn't been back for a while.
So, I'm currently trying to negotiate a tuning fork from one of the courts, a trade. But in the meantime, there might be something you can help me with if you are interested in doing so. You sound like a very powerful group of mercenaries, and you do have a very noble little druid with you. So maybe I can trust you. I don't know. Is that something you'd be interested in helping me? I mean, or
Yes. I mean, Uthe has not said what Uthe wants Tribe to do, so Tribe does not know if interest. But yes, Tribe is interested in working together, as Tribe has said.
Well, there are two things. There was one thing, but since you just revealed to me a troll layer of quite a large size, there are now two things that need to be taken care of. One is the troll layer. The other is a problem I've sort of been putting off for a while now. She says, long ago in this swamp, there lived a dragon who we...
Beryl, like, wings
no.
and ears both
Uh-oh.
kind of perk up.
says,
Oh, for God's sake, not a dragon.
yes, a
No,
black...
Wait for it.
A black dragon by the name of Tirgona, who many
Ooh.
thought had been killed, but actually had fled. She says Tirgona is in hiding, very heavily defended, and could be a danger to the swamp should she decide to reclaim her birthright area, declaring war on my druids. Now, I've left her alone because I don't want to initiate a war, and my forces are a bit torn between the Feywild corruptions and her threat, as well as trolls and every other problem that's been arising within my lands. But you all seem like this might be something you could handle. From the stories
Beryl
you've
looks-
told me, you've fought some pretty powerful creatures.
Beryl looks like she's about to like the words are simmering and they're about to burst, but we're gonna see if anyone steps in and like puts a hand on her snout or something and takes over here.
She says,
Just to make sure, you would like one or the other taken care of?
well, while I am negotiating for this tuning fork, either of these would be something that would help alleviate the plight of my lands. I think the lair would be an easier quest, but this dragon has been an issue for, well, since I discovered she still lived. So,
And how old is this dragon?
she is an old dragon. Not exactly ancient, but definitely old. She's been alive for several hundred years.
Beryl expresses awe, but like
Nice.
is still containing herself.
No Beryl, bad Beryl, no dragon Beryl.
He says, obviously, a dragon lair would probably yield more treasures and riches, though the troll
And it
lair
would
would probably
smell
have a good amount as well.
Better. Yes. Yes.
I mean, I don't want
Not
to speak
looking at
for
Beryl,
Beryl.
looking at Anna Kate and Throthi. Which would you
Well, hang
like
on.
to?
Let's give Trey a sec to talk.
Oh no, I was just gonna say, like, I'm not speaking for Beryl, but I'm sure we have no interest in a dragon.
Oh, all right. Okay, go ahead, Hope Caller. What were you saying?
I was going to look at Anna Kate and Throthi and go, so fight an adult dragon or
Old dragon.
an old dragon, or fight who get more powerful as time goes on, or fight a very large pack of very smelly trolls.
They don't smell so bad.
The Throati would just look and go, dragon.
Oh no. Beryl's about to burst, you guys. I'm trying not to ruin this for us.
So,
Let's
question.
go dragon. Let's go dragon.
Question.
Beryl's looking a
there
little
isn't
less green and a little more red.
There isn't a chance that this dragon has. Is it a male or female dragon?
Tirgona is a female dragon.
Yeah, you guys would absolutely remember the story that Beryl told you like yesterday.
Yeah,
that,
that's true.
her tribe worships Tirgona.
Like a week ago, but yeah.
Oh, that's right. We've been traveling for a little bit, yeah.
Yeah. And we just need to get rid of the dragon, yes?
Gives you kind of a curious look, and she says, just. Maybe you're more powerful than I thought. But yes, if that is a just, then that would be involved. To slay her and free these lands from the danger of the old black dragon.
Did say slay.
I mean, just remove the dragon from these lands, and so that they can never come back and attack the druids. Yes.
I suppose that could be an option. Where would such a beast go, though? And how would you even convince one to leave? Dragons are extremely vain and well, I'd be very surprised if she'd even be willing to talk to you. Just not attack you, much less talk.
It's a ponderance. We will see. But yes, that sounds like something that we would like to.
She says, I think it would be dangerous to remove the dragon without killing it. It might just mean that another part of the world would have to deal with such a powerful creature. Chromatic dragons, they have a way of causing lots of death and suffering. They definitely disrupt the balance in any area they go to.
I have a preference for the gem ones myself. My husband was a gem.
Well, gem dragons are generally are they neutral, right?
Yes.
She says our people also prefer to favor gem dragons as they are more in tune with the balances of the areas they inhabit. She says, but if you think you can do this, I would be happy to, if you think you could somehow convince her to just leave. I don't think that's the best idea, but I would take that over her coming back at an inopportune time and destroying several of my groves. So I think
we will have to plan. I think yes. There is one other thing that we might think about for the future. We may need a point of contact to pass information along from other allies to the Grove, and from the Grove to what we are fighting. Is there a particular druid you can spare to have us be a means of communication?
Well, you're traveling with one of my
Eldevel has been
druids.
very helpful to us.
She says, why not just use him? Eldevel, she said. You've been traveling with one of my druids. Why not just have Eldevel stay with you? He's like, really? I should stay with them, Archdruid? Of course, yes. And she nods. She says, you did well bringing these mercenaries and noble Beryl before me. So act as my point of contact with them. He says, yes, of course, Miss Uthe, Archdruid. And he bows. And she just gives him a smile. You believe now that you've seen her closer that she is elven, possibly wood elven, because you kind of see a little bit of pointy ears underneath her hair. Maybe something else too. She's not human.
She maybe half or maybe a mix or something.
She could be half elven, but definitely some kind of you would guess wood elven heritage to her.
Would Beryl or anybody have any sense of her like power? Her I don't know, her connection with nature, because you were describing how Eldevar was describing how druids get their power through like almost like a grant from Gaian, and as we become more powerful,
the connection grows stronger with the Earth Mother as you spend
would
time.
we be able to recognize each other's like strengths?
Well, if she's an Archdruid, you know she's at least level 17, like power-wise, because I think that's like, usually they're around that level, but she's she might be lower. There's no way to know for sure other than like maybe ask her about some of the things she can do, and like you just kind of know from that.
Sure. Yeah, well, I mean, the actual Archdruid like class feature is actually level 20, but yeah, the timeless body is 18, and there's lots of other fancy stuff before that. So
I'm going off the political Archdruid.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah. No, I'm not saying that Beryl is considering challenging, but I was curious if Beryl had any sense of like the power levels there, or how much Gaian has connected with her, and if like Beryl, because like Beryl didn't realize that like what was the one that was traveling with us that I've been saying it all session and I've already forgotten his name.
Eldevel?
Yes, Eldevel. Sorry, ADHD. But yeah, like Beryl didn't like I was surprised that Eldevel didn't know the transport via plant spell. You know what I mean? So like I wasn't sure if like that meant that Beryl didn't really have a sense for like the levels of power of other druids or not. You know?
Well, it's not like a fighter where you just kind of see someone fight and get an idea of their abilities. Like it would more just be like if you see them using certain spells, you can kind of assess like what level they are.
Gotcha.
So you guys are thinking of going and confronting the dragon just out of game?
Out of character, no.
Planning and research. We're gonna do some planning and research.
Troll layer, dragon.
I'd love to fight a dragon.
2 dragon. Everyone but Beryl. Is Beryl gonna try to talk to the dragon?
I was gonna try to talk
honestly, like, okay, so out of character, I do not like to have the party opposed. But in character, like, this would be extremely difficult for Beryl to join you on. Not only because it is the dragon that her tribe worshipped and that she told you the legends of during our trek here, but also because if this dragon has fortified herself, then it's very likely some of Beryl's original tribe are the ones defending her. So this is like, ouch on so many levels.
It wouldn't be anyone you know. It might be like part of the tribe that broke off and left with her. So it'd probably be some of your people that you would never have known from long ago, like their descendants.
So not her tribe, but like
part of her old tribe.
Well, and there are lots of other tribes. Like, my tribe is just one tiny little warren.
Yeah, the Mossrill tribe, none of your people would be working for her because they don't even know she's alive. You assume.
I mean, that makes it a little better, but like just the fact that Beryl has always spouted how much she respects dragons and and this is the dragon that she like told you guys about in awe,
Well,
not
she
knowing
might
that this
also
dragon.
be very interested in meeting this dragon now that she knows it's still alive.
Yeah, but if the whole reason we're heading towards this dragon's lair is with an intent to slay, like that, no, I'm not. Okay, okay. Confession. Like besides,
hate to do this. I hate to do this, but I gotta
You
go.
have to go. Why don't we do MVP
Oh, is it?
votes?
Oh,
and you
it's
guys
almost
can,
time, yeah.
You
Yeah.
guys
No,
can discuss this throughout the week.
yeah, and I don't want to be difficult. I genuinely don't know how to play it because like
No,
we
that's the
know.
reason I want to give you a week to kind of
Yeah,
figure
it's
out
supposed
how
to be a
you.
challenging decision. Like I had this in mind to be because I like doing this type of stuff. It's like making
Mhm.
you wrestle a
Likes to
little bit
screw
with
with
your
it.
decision. Not screwing with people. It's more just it's more
And here- and
interesting to
here,
have
like-
quandaries.
And we have
people, but
we have reiterated so well during today's session that Beryl cannot persuade. So like her chances of going up and befriending the dragon are so ridiculous.
Yeah.
But would
But
she
honestly,
believe
we're
that
just
though?
gonna beat it. We're
No,
gonna beat it down
no,
with
honestly,
dual
she
damage.
feel firmly that that's what she should do.
I mean, it would be like
We're
meeting
just-
an actor you're like a super fan of. You wouldn't know what to say. You'd be like, "Oh my god, you're so awesome," and then like getting hit by a jet of acid. Ah!
Oh, is
turning
that
out
is acid? Is that the black dragon thing? Is acid?
No, it's
Yes,
chlorine
it is.
actually. Or is it acid? I thought it was no.
is
That's right.
acid.
Green is chlorine. So yeah, it
Yeah.
is acid.
Yeah. See, I
yeah.
don't actually know my dragon lore very well,
So
so.
Beryl, you are the MVP. Congrats.
Thank you guys for giving me back my inspiration. I have two.
I'm gonna take some notes here, but yeah, I'll be here
All right.
until I finish
Oh.
notes. Good game.
Thank you for your perfect persuasion roll through the
See you later. Had a
and
good
for your
time.
eyeball wall. That was fun.
That eyeball wall was creepy. Anyway, see you guys.
See you.
Good night.
Bye. Good night,
Catch
everybody.
you
Thanks,
next
Lou.
time.
Yeah, you're welcome.